All right. What is up, everybody? Let me get this off the screen here. All right. Good to see all of you hanging out tonight. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. Again, I hate to say that. I hate to be the unknowing person that has no control over what he's doing. But again, new mic, new setup, new background music. I'm still trying to get used to everything, all the little toys, you know. So let me know that everything's good. All right, so we're gonna get some more people in here. I'm sure. I know a lot of people are up already in Michigan or on their way to Michigan for the Junkies meetup. So who knows? Maybe we'll have less numbers tonight. I have no idea. We will see. Matt Porter says I sound like trash. Dang, dude. And I was really looking forward to meeting you. Guys, I'm going to pop one of these in real quick. Everybody's hyping Zbiotics. I bought a pack because of the Junkies meetup and because of live streams. This is going to be my first time trying this. You got to shake it up a little bit. Get all this good bacteria or whatever the hell it is in my body and see if it makes me not feel so bad in the morning. So let me take a shot of this real quick and see how this goes. The chat's cracking me up. We got a fun stream tonight. We got some amazing bottles to try. Let me put this back real quick. Oh, that's weird. Tastes like herbs and spices. Huh. Okay. That's not quite as bad as I thought. Just definitely different. Okay. Let me say hello to some folks who are hanging out tonight. We only have 18 in here. That's a little bit unusual. Maybe it's because I put the stream up late, or maybe people got other things they're doing. And if they do, that's good. I don't know why they want to hang out and drink whiskey on Thursday nights. So Top Dog, what is up? Good to see you, man. For those of you just jumping in here, I am starting off the stream with one of these Jack Daniel's Tennessee Travelers. All right, so a Jack Daniel's Tennessee Traveler. This is a travel retail exclusive, I believe, overseas. I don't know that it's in U.S. markets or anything, so... It's 107 proof. So I'll give you some notes on it here in a second, but that's my first pour of the evening here. So cheers. What's up, Jake McKee? Good to see you, man. Trevor's in the house. The Bourbon Wrench sent me. Oh, yeah? DC says, thank you for the sample pack giveaway from a couple streams back. Amazing sample. Oh, DC, let me know if you get a chance to try that 89 Granddad 114. I don't know if you are saving that or if you've already tasted it, but that's an awesome pour, man. I don't know if you've had one of those before. Yeah, it is at 8 p.m. Sorry, I was fashionably late today. It's been a crazy day. I almost didn't stream tonight because I've been wiped out and I don't want to feel like crap on the Junkies for the Junkies weekend. But I said, you know what? Let's do this. And Roy N, what is up? I'm not lucky to have any of these bottles. It's not luck. It's just too much money. That's all. Yeah, exactly. Damon. It's not luck. It's more like how bad you really want it. That's exactly it, man. And Matt says, why aren't you in Michigan? I will be there. I'll be there tomorrow night. Matt, I missed tickets to the VIP event. So I wasn't going to ask Dan and Sean to like get me in without having tickets. You know, I wasn't going to even put them in a position to make that awkward. But I wish I could be up there sooner. But yeah, I'll be there tomorrow night. I'm stopping off in between Ypsilanti and Ann Arbor at a restaurant with Sarah. We have an 8 p.m. reservation. So we'll eat there. It's a place that I like. I was there a few months ago. And then we'll finish the drive and probably get in, 10:30. Yeah, 10:30, 11 probably. Roy R., what is up? Bev Porter, good to see you. Roy says, I'm sure Cam... Oh, no, I paid out the wazoo for some of these bottles. Let's see. Zbiotics, use code ADHD and save 15%. Do it. I should have used that. I didn't use anybody's code. I just ordered them. Let's see. Tom Snyder, man. Good to see you. Drinking some Lucky 7. There you go. Big Potato is blinding Calumet 16, Knob Creek single barrel store pick, and Lucky 7 proprietor courtesy of Cam. Cheers. That's awesome. That Lucky 7, man. And I feel like it really depends on the age of that Knob Creek pick, how that's going to go down. My money's on the Lucky 7, probably. I got to be honest with you. Four Roses LE. Is that the lottery tomorrow? Yeah. Damon, I'm only here to talk to Matt Porter. All right, guys. So what did I say we're doing tonight? I have some things written down on my phone that I have to remember. All right. So let me get the banner up for the giveaway. So tonight's giveaway, we have an awesome flight tonight of Russell's 13. We have the 3 batches that have been released. I'm not going to start with that. I'll probably get to that in the next 30 or so minutes. If you are catching the replay right now on the stream in the future, I will timestamp the Russell's 13 blind flight so that you can skip right to that. I know that's probably going to be the most interesting thing that I do this evening, besides the giveaway, which, as you can see on the ticker below, tonight's giveaway is going to be a sample pack, 1-ounce samples of everything I taste tonight, which is going to include those 3 batches of Russell's 13, so you can go back and rewatch the blind flight or my upcoming review video of all 3 of these, and you can taste along. Also, tasting tonight and giving away, as a result, this Old Forester 117 series Whiskey Row Fire, samples of that, samples of the Sherbrooke 14-year rye whiskey, and also the 2022 edition of Michter's 10-year rye, plus the 2 Jack Daniel's Tennessee Travelers. So that's 8 samples, 8 1-ounce samples, and there's going to be 2 winners for tonight's giveaway. So that is going to be like an awesome sample pack, I think. Epic Ryes, which we're going to be tasting tonight, the Jack Daniel's Travel Exclusives, the 3 Russells, and then the latest 117 series. I'm stoked. Hank Williams says, were they given to you like all the other whiskey tubers? No, nothing you see was given to me. I paid secondary for all of the Russells, except for 1. And I paid retail on the Sherbrooke. I paid secondary for the Michter's 10. And I traded at a secondary value for the Whiskey Row Fire, but I didn't pay cash. So, kind of is what it is. So, it's a lot of money, you know. Anyways, let me know what you guys are sipping on. The 30 of you that are in here, please hit that like button on your way in. And have a pour. Let me know what you're going to have this evening. All right. Great. So, for those of you who want to enter into tonight's giveaway as we get going, you can do that by super chatting. Of course, I'm going to be tracking. I'm going to be tracking giveaways myself. So if you super chat, I have a spreadsheet pulled up. I'll be tracking, and also you can submit via Venmo or PayPal. Those links or that information is in the description of this video. If you do want to do it that way, that money goes directly to me instead of YouTube taking 30%. And then just let me know in the chat how many entries you put in. I'll be checking my phone as well, and I'll get you squared up and get you entered. So that'll be awesome. All right. It's quiet in here tonight. Just the sounds of smooth jazz. Okay, let's get into it. So let's check out first this Jack Daniel's Tennessee Traveler. So I have a secondary camera here, and I wanted to try this. And I will show you in just a second, but I want to get to the super chat. Thank you, Tom Snyder. Appreciate that. It's a $10 super chat, 2 entries into tonight's giveaway. And he says, Lucky 7 first, then some Barrel Seagrass. Barrel Seagrass, I need to revisit, and I think I'm going to do a Tuesday taste along for that, maybe at the beginning of September. I might pull that one out. Maybe end of August. We'll just have to see. But I'm hit or miss on that Seagrass, man. Lucky 7, though, is solid. Chris D, you know what? I mean, secondary on that bottle is $275. Retail is like $180. So you're closer to retail than you are secondary. At $215, if I see it personally, it's one of my favorite bottles. It's one of my go-tos. So if I see that at $215, I'm buying that. I know the retail or the SRP warriors out there who I completely empathize with, totally get your point of view. They would say no, and they also have a point. But I've never even seen one on a shelf ever in my entire life, no matter the price. So if I saw it for $215, I'm doing it. And Roy N is going to jump in as well. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate that. And cheers to you. Will Barrett is sipping on Kelvin Collab 3, which is the only one that I've ever tried, and that is an unbelievably good bottle. So we'll enjoy that, man. JG, whiskey cheers to you too. Cool. So let me show you a little close up here. I pulled out the secondary camera tonight to give you guys a closer look at some of the bottles that we taste through, especially some of these that are maybe a little bit less known. So what we have here, what I'm starting with, is this Jack Daniel's Tennessee Traveler. It's called Sweet and Oaky. It comes in a 500 milliliter bottle in duty-free shops. And you can see we get some tasting notes on the side here. I don't want to read too much of those because I don't want to be influenced. And then you get, whoops, got to go this way. You get a little something here on the side. Sweet and Oaky. And then right after this, I'll check out the other one in this series, which is the Bold and Spicy. All right. So these are the two Tennessee Travelers right now, taking a look at this Sweet and Oaky version. I'm trying to get fancier on the tech, the secondary camera, the whole thing. It's like making me sweat when I was setting it up. DOP is in the house. I owe you like 30 text messages. I know it was today. The last couple of days have not been great for your boy. So sorry, man. But Daniel is the one who sent me that Kelvin Collab 3. And he's the reason I am infatuated with that bottle. Unreal. Damon says most places are $220 with tax. If that's the going rate in shops right now, which, what allocated bottle is going for SRP at this point? Eagle Rare maybe, some of those lower price ones, but the big boys, yeah. If that's the reality of the situation, $215 to $220 for that in shops, I'm paying it. That's just me though. Chris D, thank you for the super chat. Got an entry into the giveaway. All right. So let me get a couple tasting notes here. I'll get back to the chat in like 2 minutes. So I don't have any information about the age of this whiskey. It's called a straight Tennessee whiskey, so it's not age stated on the label. And as per Matt Porter's research, and he's really hitting this home on some of his videos, which I love because I didn't know this bit of information, which is it's got to be at least 4 years old if it's called a straight whiskey, but it's not age stated under 4 years. So it's at least 2, but this is definitely 4. At least 4. So on the nose, 107 proof Jack Daniel's. Tons of brown sugar on here. And not an overwhelming amount of banana, which I like. When it gets a little too banana-y, a little too runts candy, I'm not a big fan of that. It's got to be kind of dialed in, and this is dialed in. And it's extremely charred. Like, you can just smell. I don't know if this has gone through a toasted barrel. I guess it's called Sweet and Oaky. It smells like a toasted barrel. That's very nice. I would assume this smells double oaked. I might be crazy, but it smells like it's double oaked. Let me taste it. So there you go, 107 proof. Very, very nice on the palate. Loads of nutmeg and brown sugar. It's just pie crust in a glass. I wish I would have bought 2 of these things now. This is really, really a nice thing. And if you guys see this in a duty-free shop, if you're traveling international, pick up this Sweet and Oaky. I'll try the rye in a little bit. I want to get into some other things right now. But if you see this Sweet and Oaky in a duty-free shop, that's a buy. and the rye is TBD at this point. So, oh, Matt says that autofocus makes me jealous. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't working for a long time there. I finally figured all my settings out, so I got it. I think it's dialed in. JG says bold and spicy is referring to him. Maybe. Jay, are you going to the Junkies meetup? I can't remember if you're going over there or not. Derek, enjoying a little E.H. Taylor single barrel tonight. Super stoked about the weekend. It will be great to see everybody. I've not met anybody in the whiskey community. Not a single person except for Jason. So I'm fucking excited. I'm just gonna say it. Speaking of E.H. Taylor, I'm not tasting this tonight. Well, I was actually gonna start with this, but I forgot. It was just gonna be my warm-up pour for the evening, but I totally forgot. Next Tuesday for the Tuesday taste along, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Most Tuesdays from this point forward. Next week we're gonna be tasting E.H. Taylor small batch together, online group sort of tasting. Last time it went about 25 minutes on the 1792 bottled bond, so 25 minutes seems to be kind of the sweet spot for that live video series. So I just wanted to put that on the table so I remembered to tell you guys next Tuesday that is the bottle. Matt says, Cam, you're on top chat for show. I'm in, what do you mean, man? I'm in the StreamYard chat here. Wow. 107 proof Jack Daniels. Sweet and oaky. Man, that's freaking good. Let me clean this glass here. For the 45 of you in chat right now, more numbers coming in at this point. Hit that like button on your way in. Check out tonight's giveaway. 1 ounce sample of everything we taste, including 3 Russell's Reserve batches, the newest 117 series, ridiculous ryes, and some travel exclusive Jack Daniels. Holy crap, Paul Graham. Dude, you doing it again? Amazing. Thank you so much for the support, Paul. One of the biggest supporters of the channel. I cannot say enough about Paul's support, and it's good to Paul and I chat often in Facebook Messenger, and it's cool, man. I look forward to meeting you one of these days when we go out west, out to Nevada. Gosh, thank you, Paul. I got you in for a million giveaways, a million entries into the giveaway. All right. What are we doing next? Let's get into this before the Russell's flight, before the Russell's blind battle. Let's check out the Old Forester 117 series Whiskey Row Fire. And let me know in the chat if you guys have tried this yet. I'm a little late to the game picking this one up. And I'm excited for those of you who do win tonight's giveaway to get a chance to try this. I went live on Instagram the other day when this bottle arrived, and I did sort of just an initial quick first impression tasting of this. And I'm not going to spoil it, but let's see how it is tonight. Matt says, Seagrass is a hot mess, unpopular opinion. I think I agree with that, Matt. I did like an informal live stream about whiskeys of the year or whiskey awards for 2021. And at the time, I thought Seagrass, I was like, oh, it's unique, and of the ryes that came out in 2021, I thought it might have been, I don't know, like unique enough. And I mean, it's just too artificial. Like every time I go back to it, it tastes so artificial to me that I can't get down with it anymore. Okay. Jeez, Paul. Man, you're awesome. It's amazing. Tight Cuts says 117 is delicious. Hey, Tight Cuts, I saw some comments on some YouTube videos maybe today or yesterday, and I will reply to you, I promise. Tom Snyder says, how does one get into the Four Roses lottery? It's just going to be on their website. I sign up for their mailing list, their email list. Last year, I just got an email, and yeah, I think this year will probably be the same thing. I got the email about them announcing when they were going to be opening it up, so Yeah. Damon agrees with Matt that Seagrass is a hot mess. I'm trying to find a home for the last 2/3 of your open. Yeah. I will revisit it on a Tuesday taste along, but it might not be a very nice Tuesday taste along. All right. So Old Forester 117 series Whiskey Row Fire. Have a quick closer look at this. All right. See if I can even get it even closer to the camera. I don't know if it'll focus this close. Oh, there we go. So 100 proof, you can see there, 50% ABV, released in July of 2022. And the only thing special about this is that there was a fire on Whiskey Row. And, whoops, let's come back here. And these were the barrels that were filled on the day of that fire, which is about 7 years ago, and it was blended together. So it's essentially a 6 or 7, depending on when they actually bottled this. Let's just say 7-year Old Forester bourbon 100 proof blend. But that doesn't tell the whole story, because on the nose, this thing smells like a Four Roses barrel strength pick. It's like, it's got that really black peppery and extremely leathery smell of like a 5th or 6th tier Old Four Roses barrel strength pick. Yeah, but underneath that, usually Four Roses will have kind of a syrupy cherry note or a syrupy like strawberry kind of note. This is like, that fruitiness is turned up to 11. And it's definitely like an Old Forester candied fruitiness, but extremely rich. It doesn't smell young or like unrefined, like you might expect a young Old Forester to smell. It really smells like the most balanced and decadent tier 6 Four Roses barrel strength pick, just proofed down a little bit. Yeah, just ridiculous. I'm going to give it a taste now. Cheers. Wow. Oh my goodness. That is amazing. That might be the best 117 series release that they've done. It's not a super fair comparison because it's a little lower proof than most of them. Oh my God. Tight Cut says, we'll miss Jackie at Old Forester, you mean, not Four Roses. But yeah, definitely going to be missed there. But you know what? Here's the deal, guys. Like, when I got into whiskey, I got in and, you know, she was already doing her thing at Old Forester. What I'm really curious about is to see not what the next release looks like, because frankly, like, you could have a bad one-off release. So if the next release of the old, you know, the 117 series or birthday bourbon, if the next release sucks, it's like, everybody just calm down if that's the case and don't go, oh my God, it's because Jackie left. It might not be. It could be a one-off bad release. So over the next 2 to 3 releases is what I'm really curious about, to see how Old Forester's special release products that she used to have a hand in and working with and blending, that's what's going to be the interesting part, seeing how they end up over the next 2 to 3 releases. I think Matt was joking, but yes, Seagrass sucks. Wow, this is fantastic. But you know what? What kills me about these 117 series releases is that secondary on all of them is $250 for a half-size bottle. No way in shit it is worth. It's not a $500 bottle. That's the way I look at it. It's not. $50 SRP. That is what should be paid for these things. This is really, really good stuff. But when you think of like other bottles that have a secondary value of $500 for a full 750 milliliter, this thing is going to get stomped by a lot of those. And it just, you know, that's the reality of the situation. Paul Graham says he's out having dinner. I'll catch up later. Cool, man. But thank you, Paul. Geez, Just throwing in a cool 50. Thanks, man. Enjoy your dinner. Have something nice. Speaking of dinner, if any of you are Michigan people, I don't know what the view is of Paisanos, which is in Ann Arbor / Ypsilanti. It's like right between. That's where Sarah and I are going to be going tomorrow night before we head back up to the Junkies meetup. Paisanos has this steak that is just phenomenal. It's not like a pure filet or a straight up ribeye. I can't remember exactly what all is on it. I usually don't do dolled up steaks. It's just, let's get a filet, you know? But they do something there with this bacon jam and other things, this insane potato salad stuff that I shouldn't be eating with all my jacked up food sensitivity or whatever the hell I'm dealing with. But I'm going to do it, and I'm going to suffer through the consequences because it's so good. That's where we're going tomorrow night. I cannot get over how much this 117 smells like an Old Forester single barrel strength pick. Tier 5, Tier 6. It's the leather note in here that really distinguishes that from like a lower tier pick when you're thinking of Four Roses barrel strengths. Ooh, Dunny says, hey Cam, I live in Grand Rapids. Great restaurant choice. Awesome. That's good to hear. Some of the locals that was like, oh, I really like Paisanos, you know? I did a week in basically Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor. I did a week there a few months ago. The recording session, we did this concert and everything. And I told the guys, like, oh yeah, I've gone to Paisanos 2 nights in a row because I just love it. I love this one steak that they have. And they were like, Paisanos? I'm like, what do you mean? So I guess people, locals were judging me. They're like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, shit, man. I thought it was incredible. Oh my gosh, Paul Graham, another $20 super chat. Jeez, dude. Thank you so much. Epic. Thank you so much for the support, Paul. Roy says he's taking us all to the woodshed. Derek says, so you're telling me you don't think a 100 proof 7-year-old Forester can hang with E.H. Taylor? That's a great comparison. That is a great comparison. Like, this is an amazing whiskey. I'm telling you. At the SRP. Like, if this is a $100 bottle, if it's a full-size bottle, that makes perfect sense to me. 150 even. Perfect sense. Above that, it's like, nah, I don't know. I don't know about that. Big Potato says super close between doing a blind here between Calumet 16, Lucky 714, but finished with Calumet on top. And the it was a 9-year Knob Creek pick you did way less. That makes a lot of sense. The Calumet, I think in my mind, is going to win that. Like, the reason I think it won is because of how oaky it is. There's a lot of depth to it. I am becoming less and less of a fan of Calumet 16. And that's why I've been holding off on recording a review, because I keep changing my mind. I'm flipping back and forth. I've probably gone through at least half the bottle being this indecisive about it. Dustin Pullman, what's up, man? Says, good evening, Cam. Cheers to you. Cheers to you back. Loving all the channel activity lately. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. And thank you for sending that Redemption 18-year rye sample along. Sarah did finally drink the last little bit that I had left. And we put it next to, I think, the Redemption 10. And she kind of had the same thought that I did. She thought it was a little over-oaked. Just had that weird funkiness in there that I don't know why I wasn't a fan of it, because I love old, funky, oaky whiskey. But, man, that one was a little bit out of my wheelhouse. But you're an epic, you're a legend for sending that sample this way. All right, so I don't want to drink too much right now, but this is a total recommend. Going to be curious to see how those Zbiotics do. That's the big question tonight. How am I going to feel in the morning? So I think it's time. Is it? What are you guys saying? Here's what I got. Here's what I've got left. Before, like, I have some samples that I thought about getting into here. The night is young. I think, where are we at? Like 8:30? Yeah. The night is young. What do you think? I've got these two ryes, the Michter's 10, the 2022. I've got Sherbrooke 14, which is the last one in the Maryland Heritage Series. And then obviously we have the Russell's 13 Blind Flight, which is the main event of the evening. Should I get into some of these ryes first, or should I do the Russells next? Maybe this is such a low-proof rye. Maybe I should do this one next. What do you think? I don't know. Hey, so if you guys just jumped in here, I've got... Oh, actually, Big Potato, you just reminded me. I don't know if you're the one who asked earlier about those new releases. Let me get to that very quickly. For those of you who just jumped in here, or, people are coming in, we got 57 now. I have a couple favors to ask. All the YouTube stuff, I know. Please hit that like button. Really, 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 really helps. And also, I want to plug again. I know, I want to plug the Instagram. Drums and Drams Instagram. If you guys are on Instagram, go check it out. Give it a follow. That would really, really help. I've been working on the photography skills, So go check that out. Give it a follow. That would be awesome. And finally, a quick reminder about tonight's giveaway. 1 ounce sample pack of everything I taste this evening. 2 winners. So more chances to win. All 3 Russells. These 2 rye whiskeys. Exclusive Jack Daniels. And the 117 series. Whiskey Real Fire. So there you go. Let me get to this question. It was about new releases. And I know a lot of people have been talking about this. And let me scroll back in the chat and see if I can find it here. Here we go. All right, Big Potato, you are the one that asked it earlier. How do you feel about the Midwinter Night's Dram release news for this year, as well as King of Kentucky's that are going to be impossible to get? All right, so let's start with Midwinter Night's Dram. One thing... I want to be civil when I say this. One thing that kind of pisses me off is when people jump the gun because they want to be like, this is a double-edged sword. I appreciate what I'm about to say is a double-edged sword because I talk about wanting to be the first one to get a review out, for instance. And sometimes bottles need a little time to open up, and sometimes I jump the gun. So I sympathize with that, empathize, whatever the correct word would be in this situation. But the news came out about Midwinter Night's Dram, or maybe a TTB filing that someone saw, and they yanked it, and it was that Encore edition that said white port barrels. And immediately, videos, Facebook posts, oh my God, it's the end of Midwinter Night's Dram. I don't know if it is or isn't. What those people failed to remember, I'm 95% sure of this, is that a label's already come out about this year's Midwinter Night's Dram release, which will be Act 10. And they took French Oak off of the label. It still says port barrels, but they took French Oak off the label. So there's still an Act 10 that's going to be coming out. There's also this Encore edition. And what I've heard some people say now is like, this is their most popular line from High West. Why would they do away with this product? It makes zero sense to me, and I don't think it's over. I think they would have said something about it being the final release. And I just think that people either didn't think this through or they just wanted to get clicks and views and whatever the case may be. But the whole thing made me it just pissed me off a little bit because I'm like, come on. So sorry, I don't mean to go too hard on that. The other thing, the King of Kentucky's, I think it's pretty cool to see that they're dropping 15-year barrels this year instead of 14s. The bottle count looks comparable to the years prior, 3,500 bottles. So secondary value is probably going to hang out around the same, which is about $2,000 right now for current releases. Yeah, so it is what it is. I do think it would be cool to see Old Forester release, I don't know, like a King of Kentucky at 12 years old, for instance. Or maybe under a different label. Maybe you proof it down to an easy 110, 115. But if they've got that old whiskey, I mean, that's cool. I know some of it goes into birthday bourbon and everything like that, but I would be curious to know what their stocks are like. The 18-year is it's going to be the price of a car. So I've accepted already. There's no way in shit I will ever taste the 18-year King of Kentucky. Roger gave a follow on Instagram. Thank you, Roger. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Okay. Let me check the chat here. Yeah, Derek says, what about that gold foil 18-year King of Kentucky? 250 bottles. I mean, 250 bottles. That's a... And did I hear that it's 10 barrels worth or 20 barrels? Some silly number of barrels, which must have had hilariously low yields. I don't know. Dunny says Midwinter Night's Dram just went up $60 for the fall release in Michigan. That's criminal, right? Because isn't Michigan state controlled? Some of these state controlled price increases, it's such a fucking money grab that it makes my blood boil. Ohio just got Booker's up another $10. I can't get behind this stuff, guys. It's just disingenuous to the core. All right. I'm gonna taste Michter's 10 before I do the Russell's 13 blind, because it's just such a low proof. It's not gonna make a lot of sense to get into this after the Russell's 13s. So guys, I just acquired this. I did not get it sent to me like the other YouTubers. I wish I did, but I had to shell out some money for this one. 2022 batch. And I'll remind you with a close-up shot here of the stats. Okay. So let me get real close on the camera. Get that label, the fishnet, 46.4% ABV. So a low proof. What is that, 92.8, I believe? Yep, 92.8 proof. So there you go. Let's give this a taste here. Again, this is another one I tasted over on Instagram Live when I unboxed it as a first look. Drums and Cam says Mojo. What's up, man? Big Potato. I have two different barrels of 2021 Michter's 10 Bourbon. I have one open Michter's 10 Rye from 2021 also. So I don't know if you're talking about bourbon or rye. Both good. Both good. I like them. Sexy fishnet, says JG. All right. DLP getting into the giveaway. He says, Midwinter Night's Dram is honestly one of my favorite releases. If they want to do a special release, they should do a barrel strength. I would drive to Utah for that. Yeah, that would be a very nice release. A distillery in Ohio called High Bank actually did something that kind of reminds me of that. Let me get a different mix on here of music. High Bank did a Madeira-finished blended whiskey, basically. It's amazing. It's a cask strength Madeira finish, and it tastes like a barrel-proof Midwinter Night's Dram. It really does. Daniel, I'll send you a sample of that. I'll send you some of that with the box that I'm going to send your way. Which, by the way, my flasks just arrived. They were delayed, so I might not be able to get it out before the Junkies meet up because I'm leaving tomorrow, but I will get that out Monday. Just so you know. All right, Michter's 10 Rye, 2022 on the nose. Yeah, I said this on Instagram the other day when I tasted this. This is a little less sweet and a little less creamy than any of the other Michter's 10-year ryes that I've had. I have an open 2018, I have an open 2021, and I have killed a 2021 also. So I've had 3 different barrels of this. This is actually much more rye forward, much more wood forward than I ever know these to be. It's not a bad thing, but for me it's a little bit jarring. It's starting to remind me more of like an MGP rye in some ways. I don't mean that it tastes like Redemption rye or anything, but it's getting a little more, like 20% more of an MGP quality to it than I'm used to from Michter's 10-year rye. So I do get some light vanilla here, but it's not the creamy marshmallow vanilla that I'm used to from previous years. There is a light cherry note, which I like. But this one is really getting like a burnt orange and a wood, almost like a stave finish. It almost feels like it has that stave finish note that I got on Discovery 8. Yeah, so it's good. It's got a good amount of sweetness, just a little bit more spice than I'm used to from a Michter's 10-year rye. It actually smells higher than the proof, the 92.8? Yeah. Smells higher than 92.8 proof, which is cool. The other ones smell like 92.8 because they're so rich, sweet, and creamy. So yeah, let's go in for a taste now. What do you guys think about this new playlist? That's interesting. Ooh. The mid palate is... Yes, the mid palate is very good. Let me check the chat real quick, and we'll talk about it. Henry D says, hey, champ. Hey back, Henry, and thank you for the $20, man. Thank you for the super chat, and that's 4 entries for tonight's giveaway. Let me get you in there. Thank you so much. How's it going, man? What are you sipping on? Are you sipping on anything? And if you are, what is it? Jake McKee says, much better playlist. This is just, you know, another experiment. This is my lo-fi mix number 2. And it's not all lo-fi, but I called it that because there's a couple of tunes in here that are kind of lo-fi-ish. Toshi Bake, holy crap. Evening, joined late, but rewatched on 2x speed from the start. I bet that was, I don't know how that would be. And now I'm caught up. This will be fun to watch you taste through these epic pours. Going to pour something something nice myself to enjoy. Cheers. Dude, cheers to you. Holy shit. Thank you for the $50 super chat, Toshi Bake. And let me get you into the giveaway here. I am tracking myself tonight, guys, so, you know, bear with me as I type these in when people do submit. Thank you, Toshi. Holy crap. Whew. Andrew Kelly says, when are you going to put your own original music? That's probably not going to happen, because the kind of stuff that I do is, it would be weird as background music. I will do another Drums and Drams virtual concert, or maybe just some sort of like miniature performance. I don't know. I'll do something like that. I did it last May. So that's been 15 months ago. So it's time to do another one of those. I'm glad you guys like the new playlist, though. Scott says, what is a giveaway tonight? Just entered the stream. Scott, it's going to be 8 different samples, 8 1-ounce samples. There are going to be 2 different winners getting those 8 sample packs. And it's everything that I'm tasting tonight on the stream. All 3 batches of Russell's 13. The newest 117 series Whiskey Row Fire from Old Forester. 2022 Michter's 10 Rye. 14-year Sherbrooke MGP Rye. And these 2 Jack Daniel's Tennessee Travelers, which are travel retail exclusive higher proof rye and higher proof whiskey. All right. So that is the giveaway. I feel like it's a pretty solid, like when I do sample giveaways, I don't want them to be crappy. I want the samples to be, you know, of a very high quality. All right, let me take another sip of this Michter's 10 Rye and get some more detail on the palate. So it leads off with that burnt orange and that wood spice. And then when you get into the mid palate, it does die off a little bit quickly. All of the Michter's 10 products do die off a little bit quickly. But when it gets into the mid palate here, as it starts to fade 10-20%, it does kick in with that marshmallow note that I love so much on this rye. That marshmallow, that vanilla, that kind of creaminess. Here's the thing. I hope I can explain this in a way that makes sense. Older Michter's 10 Ryes, they hit you kind of right away. It's creamy and sweet, kind of flat. So it's almost like it just hits you and it maintains its sweetness, its creaminess, and then starts to fade into the finish. What this one does, because it's got a little more spice, a little more wood, it hits you with a much sharper point. And then when it does get into the mid palate and sweeten up, it makes it feel like there's less body to the whiskey. When it starts with more spice, that's so contrasting to what the actual mid palate into the finish experience is, that when you start with that spice, everything else can't live up to that amount of spice when it starts to get creamy and sweet. Because of that, when I talk about development of a whiskey on the palate from front to back, the development here is not great because it does pop you up front and then kind of die away. As it dies away, the notes are so good and the whiskey tastes so good. Whereas the older Michter's 10 Ryes, and it could just be the single barrel, maybe the other 2022s are completely different. Fair game. But this one in particular is like that. The older ones are a little bit more reserved, but they're more reserved the entire way through. So it feels more consistent on the palate. And that to me, from a developmental point, is important. I would say that it's a product of the blending usually, but this isn't blended. This is a single barrel. So you can't blame the blender for not doing a good job on the blend. So it is what it is. It's a different take on Michter's 10 Rye for me personally. Maybe it's a coincidence that all my other barrels have been a little sweeter and a little more creamy throughout. I don't know. Oh, you guys are coming in with the super chats. Thank you so much. Holy crap. Let me get to Jake McKee first. Jake says, sipping on the Calumet 16 that I won. I love it. I'm glad you like it, man. I think that's a bottle that so many people are going to like. I think it touches something for me on my palate that is just, there's something in there that I can't quite figure out why I'm not like drooling over it. So I got to figure that out, but I can totally see why everybody else right now seems like they're loving it. I'm glad. What I'm glad about is the fact that as a lot of whiskey brands are declining in quality, at least from my point of view, that we're seeing a whiskey brand, by all accounts, from everybody else's opinion, I'm the outlier, it seems, on just this one release. The 15 was better than the 14, totally. The 16, for me, whatever, but for everybody else, we're seeing a brand ramping up. That's exciting. A brand ramping up that's not a craft distiller. It is an NDP. They're not distilling it themselves. But I don't care. We need to see more forward progress with brands as opposed to what we're seeing now with, let's say, Booker's, where it's just, I don't know. Someone shit the bed, it feels like, over there. Speaking of which, I wanted to call a few things out. I put that Booker's review up yesterday. Good reception. People disagreeing respectfully in the comments, which I love that. I love differing opinions on this stuff. I called out Larceny Barrel Proof as an alternative to Booker's. That's like calling out Evan Williams 23 as a replacement for Michter's 10 Bourbon. They're both rare, What I should have done, and what people reminded me of in the comments of the Booker's review, is I should have called out some other bottles that are more accessible and more practical. Jesus, how did I not say in that video that a Knob Creek, even a 9-year store pick, is going to be a better value and probably a better drinking experience in the last 9 batches of Booker's, besides the Bardstown batch, which I'm a fan of. Knob Creek 9-year picks. Any age-stated Knob Creek pick. The Shelfer 9-year single barrel, take it or leave it. That one's a little rough around the edges usually. Still might be better than Booker's at $40 less or $50. The other one I missed, which is not from Jim Beam, but a great call out. I can't remember who said this. Might have been Robotic. In one of the comments is Russell's Reserve single barrels. $50. Even the Shelfer Russell single barrel. Hell, rare breed, different flavor profile, but better than Booker's. So I should have said that in the video. I'll get to the next super chats here in just a second. Jake, let me make sure I get you entered here. I don't want to forget. Maybe Jake's going to take home another prize, which Jake killed it. He got 2 prizes a couple weeks ago. Cam, how does Michter's 10 Rye compare to, say, Kentucky Owl Rise, or Redemption 10, or Parker's Heritage? Can't think of many older. The other one would be like Wild Turkey Cornerstone, which I actually have one back there. That's an interesting comparison, Dustin. I'm gonna hold off on doing it right now because I do want to get to the Russell's 13 flight, and I do want to get there. We'll see how long the stream goes. I could pull some of those out, but it's a good idea for me to do a video of comparing some of my favorite high-end rye whiskeys, and all of those are on the list. Parker's Heritage I don't own. I wish I did, but I can't pony up the secondary to get one of those. And you know, if somebody has a case of them sitting around, I'd love to, you know, bargain for one of those. But probably nobody has a case of those sitting around. But I could replace that with the Wild Turkey Cornerstone. I would say the Michter's 10 is very different than all of the ones you've listed, though. So, although this one, this 2022 with a little bit more spice, this is definitely closer to like, let's say the Wild Turkey Cornerstone Rye from memory. Derek Matt says, we demand a 12-minute triangle solo. Ask and you shall receive. Jay, that's a funny comment too, man. Let's see. Top Dog. Jump in. Oh, $10 super chat. Thank you, Top Dog. Let me get you in here. I appreciate that. With 2 entries. And Scott, holy crap, Scott, $50. Man, you did not have to do that, but thank you so freaking much. That is awesome. Cheers to that. Wow. Thank you, Scott, man. You guys that send like, I mean, if you send any amount of super chat, it always boggles my mind that you're doing that. But the $50, $100 super chats, it's like I can't wrap my head around that. But I just want to say thank you so much to all of you, and then the people doing those the high roller super chats, the high stakes super chats. You guys are crazy, and I thank you so much. Jeffrey Wack, hello again, whiskey friends. What's up, man? That's another person I'm going to be meeting at the Junkies meetup. Roy R says, you made me revisit Seagrass. Still love it. Roy R loves Seagrass. I will revisit it soon. Maybe in a few weeks on that Tuesday taste along. Yeah, Big Potato. That's a funny. Yeah, Beam is going down. Booker's Bardstown is one of the best Booker's batches in a very long time. Adam S. I know, guys, I'll get back to tasting here in a second, but I want to catch up on chat. Adam S. says, Cam, I think you're onto something. I side-by-side Calumet 16 to 3-quart Whiskey Drummer 15 year, which is that Beam juice. Calumet was thin and tannic compared to the well-rounded Beam. That's interesting. Wow, that is interesting. I haven't had any of the Whiskey Drummer blends. But also, I can't believe I haven't. I need to pay... I'll probably have to pay secondary at this point. I need to get one of those. As a whiskey drummer, I need to get the Whiskey Drummer blend. Yeah, I could see, because the Beam profile is a little more straightforward and classic and spicy, kind of balanced, usually with leather and not too much funky oak. And you called it well-rounded. That's a good call out. The Calumet 16 is going to be a little more heavy-handed for sure. The thing that's bothering me about the Calumet is not only it's really oaky and heavy-handed, which I'm not mad about that. It's that there's also a bubblegum note that sits on the top end of it. And it's like, how can we have such a light, weird bubblegum note and this extremely tannic oaky profile? That's what's killing me about it. Whereas, look, Calumet 15 was like all medicinal cherry, but it was pretty singularly medicinal cherry. It didn't have like cotton candy as a top note, you know? So I don't know. Let's see. Matt Russell in Washington State. Russell's Reserve single barrels go for about $110 after tax. That's bullshit. I know the Washington liquor tax is silly. It's going to get to, I mean, it is getting to a point with some of these state-controlled agencies, like here in Ohio, where the prices are going so high. Like the benefit of the state-controlled system is that they were keeping things at SRP. And even if you had to stand in these lines, you knew that you weren't going to be gouged for things. We're starting to get to the point where we're not secondary gouged, but we're starting to get it gouged. It's like, what do? Protest in the streets? I don't know. Ugh, that sucks, man. Are you Schlammered? Let's see. Michter's 10 Rye versus Sagamore 8-year. It's probably not a good comparison. The Sag, like, I mean, is this going to hold up in a side-by-side next to something? Probably not. The 2022 batch might, because it's more spicy, or this particular barrel. But the Sagamore at the higher proof, with more, definitely more spice. The Mash Bill 95.5, that's a hard comparison. The Sagamore's probably going to win in that side-by-side. But there are some whiskeys, and someone said this earlier, there are some whiskeys that you just shouldn't compare next to things. It's like either maybe you just start the evening with it, or you're just going to sip that one consistently that night. The Michter's 10s are those whiskeys. They do not hold up in blinds. They do not hold up in side-by-sides. That does not mean they're bad whiskeys. And that's why, for me, blind flights are not the answer to everything. Blind flights do inform you sometimes. They remove bias. If you're in a price category, a proof category, an age category, a distillery category, whatever it could be, that you're like, however many variables you're dealing with in your blind flight, it's important for some things. It does not tell the whole story, and we have to understand the subjectivity of whiskey. And when I see this label, something changes here. I can't help it, you know. Anyways, soapbox time. Sorry. Ugh. Okay. Dustin, I can get you a sample of the Parker's Heritage. Dude, that would be awesome. I have tried it one other time. Keith Schmidt, I don't know if Keith is in here. I think Keith sent me a sample of it once. And this was 2 years ago at this point. Only time I've ever had it. I loved it, but I don't remember at all what it tasted like. At that point, my palate was, you know, your palate's always getting better, but at the time, it wasn't refined enough to deal with old or advanced ryes. I just wasn't so into rye at that point. So, Dustin, I'll try if I don't remember to email you, maybe you can send me an email or a message or something, but I have a hard time remembering these things. All right, let me get to these super chats here at the bottom. Guys, 69 in the chat. We were up at like 74, 75 for a second. That was awesome. Hit that like button. Quick reminder about tonight's giveaway is a 1-ounce sample pack of everything I taste tonight, including all the Russell's 13, the 3 releases, not 2. Whiskey Row Fire 117 series, Michter's 10 Rye 2022, 14-year MGP rye back here from Sherbrooke, and 2 Tennessee Travelers, which are travel retail market exclusives from Jack Daniels. Those are your 8 1-ounce samples. 2 winners tonight. Let me make sure I'm caught up before I move on. Roy R, let's go to this next super chat. From Mike, says, you getting Matt's rare character tomorrow? Hell yes, I am. And I don't know if there's a 1-bottle limit. If there's not, I'm buying 2. If there's a 1-bottle limit, I'm absolutely buying that. I cannot wait. It's Bardstown Bourbon Company distillate. I have sampled that 95.5 rye straight from the barrel at around 4 years old, and I was like, holy shit, this is good. At 6 years, with a particular barrel selected, I think it's going to be a home run. Knowing Matt, it's going to be a home run. So, dude, Brian Bikey's in the house. What's up, man? Tom Snyder coming in with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Tom. Let's get you in for 2 more entries. That's your second super chat, Tom. Thank you, man. You mentioned the 117 is not a 500 bottle. I spent $300 on Magnus Cigar Blend. I doubt I'd spend more. I would say. So, Tom, this is totally. You're speaking my language now. You know, I've talked about it on the channel before. The reality is, to get a lot of these bottles, these special bottles that I review and I taste, I do have to pay secondary because of the state that I live in. And Magnus Cigar Blend is a pretty consistent $325 purchase. Sometimes $300, sometimes $350. That's the range that it lives in on secondary. To me, as a $325 bottle, looking at the other secondary bottles at that price, that Magnus that's the bottle. That's the one you should be buying at that price point if you are going to pay secondary. If you're going to pay retail and you're at $180, which is basically where it is, it's still probably pretty comparable, you know? It's like that at that price point at 180. What else are you looking at? Like Master's Collection or Master's Keep from Turkey. I'm gonna go with the cigar blend. So I think you're right. That's a great special occasion bottle. I you know, and I've had at this point I've probably tried 8 or 9 cigar blends. And only one of them that I just traded away locally, my open bottle of that. Only one of them, it was a little grassy to me. I have a problem with grassy whiskey, but Russell single barrels are $60 in Connecticut, says Wigmaster. Okay, that's a reasonable price. Okay, guys. Yeah, Dustin, let me make a note to myself on my phone so I remember to reach out to you, man. I know we talked about those driftless samples too. Communication is not always my strong suit. As some of you know. I do my best. Do you guys ever have this issue where you have like 14 ways of people getting in contact with you, where it's like you have a couple email addresses, you've got the Facebook, you got the Insta profile, the Instagram business profile, you got the, you know, all of these things, and it's like between all of them to try to aggregate it, it's like each one gets checked once every 3 days because I hate sitting behind a computer and just going through and responding to messages for 2 hours. It's like as a freelance person, I just won't do that. I can't. So it'll be like days and days, and then I'll answer somebody, and then some get lost in the cracks, and I suck, man. That's all. All right, I got that written down. All right. So, okay, let's wrap this up on the Michter's 10 Rye. I got lost in the chat, which, you know, I will do from time to time, or all the time. This Michter's 10 Rye is not my favorite. After a couple of sips, it does get sweeter. You do get used to the spicier profile on this particular single barrel from 2022. More burnt orange, more woodiness, more green herbaceousness than I'm used to on any one of these. But the vanilla and the marshmallow do make an appearance finally on the mid palate and as you sip it more and more. And that last sip was the best sip. So I dig it. Not my favorite, but they have not fallen off enough for me to truly complain. I will release a full review of this 2022 Michter's 10 Rye. And in that review, I will compare it to the 2018 and a 2021. So there will be a few different iterations of this. And I think that'll be a really nice comparison. We just lost like 10 people in the chat. Probably means that the likes went live or somebody else. So if you guys are coming in and out, thank you so much for being here. If you entered the giveaway and you're going to jump between or head over there, I'll do my best to try to find you. If I don't, you know, if I have your contact information, if you do end up winning, we usually draw around 10 p.m. Eastern time. So, and Dustin says, what we have here is a failure to communicate. Derek says, I tried 3 cigar blends, no grassy ones so far. Lowest score for me would still be an 8. Okay. I would agree with that. Like, those live in the 8 to 9 territory. None of the cigar blends hit like ultimate bottle status, because for me, for a bottle to hit that, for me, it has to have that kind of super refined sweet oak on it, like that King of Kentucky sweet oak, that you can't believe how spicy it is, but how much creamy vanilla there is, but how much oak there is, and how none of it is off-putting. Although if you saw Fred Minnick's review today of the 2022 King of Kentucky, he thought it was too hot. I don't know about that. Maybe it is, but that seemed like a crazy observation. But yeah, those live in the 8 to 9 territory. Oh, Jay says the likes went live last night. Oh, okay. So maybe I just sucked for a second there and I lost 10 people in the chat. Oh, Top Dog says I'm in and out of town with a poor connection. And he spelled it poor connection. I'm not shitting on your spelling, Top Dog. I'm admiring it because that's a good pun. Nicholas says, which batch is your favorite of cigar blend? So far, probably batch 58, the Darth Vader batch. But batch 61 is also very, very good. I have a 38, I have a 77, and I have an 83. So a variance of batches that I have sealed right now. The 38 is probably all MGP. I think it's before she was using Barton in the blend. 77 is the Freebird batch. 83 is the Return of the Dark one, which she says is very similar to the batch 58, the Darth Vader. Dude, Brian, the Whiskey Refire is freaking awesome. Justin, I've not tried the Bardstown rum finish. I do not like rum finished things. So I just can't get behind it. Something could change my mind. Typically, it's just too much coconut and banana and guava, pineapple. Like, the Sagamore 8, or not 8 year, but the Sagamore rum finish rye, that is not for me. So it's tough. It's tough to evaluate that because just subjectively, I hate that profile. So Jake, for me, I don't know about that comparison. Sagamore rum cask versus Seagrass. Probably Seagrass, but I don't know. Yeah. Steve bought his first Magnus cigar blend this month at retail. Dude, that's amazing. Which batch did you get? Scott picked up Larceny B522 today. Have I tried? Yeah, I think it's solid. I'm not going to pour it now because I have so much to get through, but it's, as far as Larceny barrel proofs go, it's good. I think still B521 might be my favorite, although it's a little grassy. I'm going to sneeze. Sorry about that. She's on batch 96. Holy crap. Derek, I'm getting a sample of Freebird from a friend. I had 36, 23, 25. 36 was the winner so far. But I have a 59 Michigan exclusive on deck. Nice. So I have a 41 Michigan exclusive back there. She sent me a sample of, was 81 a Michigan exclusive also? 41, 81. I had a 24. I've tried a 27. 61, 67, 58. I'm missing something in there, but yeah. Oh, dude, batch 4, I can't even imagine. And early, because that's probably definitely all MGP. And back then, people were just using the best barrels in these blends. Like in the early days, the early days, like 3, 4, 5 years ago. People were throwing in like the craziest barrels of these blends because they just thought it was a never-ending stream of whiskey. So some of these old batches of things are so insanely good. Scott has a 39. Okay, I have a 38 and I haven't cracked it, so that's good. That's good to know. Top Dog, I bet that is a good pairing. Rum finish with banana bread. Roy has a 53 and it's off profile. So yeah, cigar blends. I'm a big fan though. I'm a big fan. Okay, it's Russell's time. It is time for Russell's 13, the blind tasting. Oh, don't drop it. Don't drop it. Don't drop it. Okay. So, they've been covered. They need a little bit of air right now, so I'm going to uncover them, get some oxygen in there. Oxygen. Air, which is not all oxygen. Science. I have them labeled on the bottom. You guys know on the channel here, usually when I do a blind flight, I have note cards that I show you what I'm sipping on which one. Because this is only 3 pours, and because they are all Russell's batches, I don't think I need to show you note cards ahead of time. I'm just going to go through this flight, and then I will give you my order at the end. I have 1, 2, and 3 written on the bottom of these. I cannot see through the glass and see that because I have a double layer of stickers on the bottom. And that's the way I'm going to be able to tell batch 1, 2, and 3. So we'll talk about them here in just a second. I'm going to mix them up just so I don't know the order that they're going to be in. Amy, what is up? I'm going to read the chat for a second while I mix these up, so I'm absolutely cannot even attempt to track it in my mind. All right. So Derek went to MGP and Barton before the label... Oh, it went to MGP and Barton before the label changed. To reflect the Kentucky, the proof change is the biggest indicator. Yeah. That is true. Okay. So I have no idea which of these blends is which. We'll start on this side, which is your left. Brian says predictions 1-3-2, but narrowly. Interesting. So, real quick, guys, let's chat about this Russell's 13 thing. So I'm going to timestamp in to the video right about now. If you're watching the replay, you're going to be brought into the video now, or maybe in just a second, because I'm going to try to find this on my phone where I have some of these stats saved. From Ryan Alves, okay? So Ryan from Justin's House of Bourbon gave a breakdown in a Facebook group of some of these blends and the different ages of barrels that went into them. So I have it right here. All right. So here we go. Batch 1, which released last August, at least in my market. Batch 1, the laser code is LL/JD. It was 135 barrels. This is coming from Ryan Alves from Justin's House of Bourbon. So if this is incorrect, I am the messenger. So there is a disclaimer on this. 135 barrels of 13-year and 35 barrels of 19-year, which makes for a total of 170 barrels. There was a rumor going around that there was 19-year in it, and it sounds like he has confirmed that rumor. There is a second in-between batch, okay? And it was not announced in a press release. The laser code is LLJL. This means it was released in December. It was bottled in December of 2021. He says, the question I asked was, what is this one? I said, regarding the 2 bottling dates on the second release, is it the same blend but with the first batch? He says, very similar makeups. The second release was very small. Those were his exact words. Very similar makeups. Second release was very small, which leads me to believe it's another blend of 13 and 19-year whiskey or something similar where you have, let's just say 4/5 of the blend or so being 13-year and the other 5th being 19-year. Now, the most recent batch, which everybody's calling batch 2 of Russell's, which is technically batch 3, is laser code LL/KE. Okay? This means that it was bottled in May of 2022. This is interesting here. The other one, the first batch was 170 barrels. This one, I don't have a total barrel count on this. But what I do have is that there were 41 barrels that are 20 years old. 41 barrels of 20-year, 17 barrels of 18-year, and the rest of the blend is 15 and 14. So 20-year, 18-year, then 15 and 14. And it says the barrels are from Camp Nelson A, Camp Nelson D, and Camp Nelson E. All right, so it's getting older over time, the barrels that they're putting in. They're going the opposite way of all these other companies that are getting to the point where they don't have any more old whiskey to blend in, and they're using all what the age statement is. Wild Turkey's going the opposite way. They're using older shit. But that mystery batch, that middle batch is a mystery to me because we don't have any stats on the barrel blend there. For reference, Shaylin Gammon, who is now at Blue Run, supposedly is the person that blended that first batch of Russell's 13. I don't know if she was the only one that did it, but I've heard that she was pregnant at the time, so she couldn't taste it. She blended it off the nose, which is phenomenal. That's amazing because batch 1 is very good. And the other ones, I have no idea. All right. Last thing I want to say, I was going to put a video out of a full review of these 3 batches today where it was not blind. 1, I ran out of time. I did my best. It didn't happen. 2, I actually think doing this blind flight first, referencing people to it, because I can't tell you how many people have asked me to do a blind flight of these 3 pours, which is why I'm doing it tonight. I can point them here first. I have not tasted these 3 in a lineup in about a week. So I remember what I remember about them. Things could change tonight. I might not recognize them in the blind. And if I do, I'm not going to bullshit you and say, I don't know which one this is. I'll let you know which one I think it might be. And then we'll reveal it at the end. I'll continue mixing them up here. But that's it. We're going to do this blind. I'm going to rank them as best I possibly can. They're all the same proof on the label, which is, 114.8? Yes. So there we have it. Let's get into this thing. Let's do this. Oh, some super chats real quick. Toshi Bake. Make sure I enter you into the giveaway. Good, I'm caught up. How did you get a hold of the 3 batches? Batch 1 first dropped last year, and I know it just dropped again last couple months for 22. When did the 3rd batch drop? So, Toshi, that's a great question. Batch 1, the very first version of Batch 1, Young Pei Chang, who has been kind of in and out of live streams recently, not as active as he used to be. Young Pei Chang sent me a very generous, 200 milliliter flask of Russell's 13, the first release. Once I got through that, and Sarah was like, I love it, I then procured one on the secondary market. I then procured another one, which was open, from a trusted source, and I used it to refill my Batch 1 bottle. And then a buddy of mine at a liquor store actually held one for me, which is the first and only time anybody at a liquor store has ever held a bottle for me, because I told him we had just gotten married, Sarah and I told him it was her favorite bottle, and he held it. So I've had a few Batch 1s. Batch 3, which is the most recent one, LL/KE, the newest release. Let me think about this. I think I got that secondary, but at a very good price from somebody in Oregon. But it was still like $375. And then the second batch I traded for, all right, which is that middle batch. In different markets right now, different batches are dropping. It could be that batch 2. It could be that batch 3. In Ohio right now, it seems like we're seeing batch 2 drop, which is LL/JL. So, yeah. It just depends on where you're at. But I knew for me, the only way I was going to be able to do this comparison, which I really wanted to do, is to shell out the money or make, the reasonable trade to get them. So, also, Paul Graham, dude, thank you. Another $20 super chat. Freaking legend, Paul Graham. Amazing. All right, let's get into this Russell's 13 flight. I said I was going to punch people in earlier, maybe on the timestamp. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Whatever. We'll see what I do after the fact. Here we go. We're going to start with this glass on your left. We'll call this glass 1. I'm going to nose them all first. Okay, I'm going to nose them all first, and then I will taste them. If you've never had Russell's 13, if I had to generalize, let's say between the 3 batches, you're talking a little bit of peanut butter in them. There is a little nuttiness. Rich, sweet oak, sweet tobacco notes, creamy vanilla, shitloads of baking spice, especially in that first batch from what I remember. Some chocolate. It's super classic bourbon, but at this point where the oak is just at the point of possibly being too much or going a little overboard, because turkey oak in older years gets super funky. The 17-year bottled and bond is some funky oak. These Russell's 13s balance that out very perfectly. So when I give you nosing and tasting notes as I go through this, keep that base profile in mind. It's like when I evaluate 3, 4, 5, 6 batches of Elijah Craig barrel proof at a time. You have to know the base profile and then talk about these kind of adjunct or adjacent qualities to the main thing. I think of it like a web in my head almost. So right now, little ethanol punch on this one. A little bit lemony and citrusy and orange, kind of a brighter spice on this. Definitely a funky leather, funky tobacco note on the low end. Great baking spice notes. But a little bright and a little sharp, actually, on glass number 1, which is interesting. A little bright, a little sharp. Toshi Bake, that's awesome, man. I had a few bottles of batch 1, but haven't gotten any of the others yet. Oh, dude, knowing you, you're going to get them. If you don't win the giveaway tonight, I'm sure You'll find another way to taste them very quickly. Yeah, Derek says, gotta love that hookup. Never expected, but great when it comes together. Yeah, and I wish I could shout him out here, but I can't out him. I can't, because it's illegal in Ohio, you know, to hold a bottle back. So for him doing that was like a really cool thing for our wedding, and, you know, I super appreciate it. But, you know, I don't ask him to do it any other time. Like Russell's 13 just dropped at his store again. He let me know. I had a rehearsal at the same time that morning, and, you know, he didn't hold one for me, and that's the way it should be in Ohio, is that there shouldn't be any of that, you know, whatever. Paul, I'm not going to put that on the screen. Oh, geez, Louise. Oh. Scott, thank you for the super chat, man. Thanks for jumping in again. Extremely generous of you. Russell's Reserve Single Bear is my favorite. I try to buy as much as I can find. Yeah, and store pics of that. I actually have one here that I wanted to pour out and put next to these Russells when I get done with the flight. This is from Daniel, who was in the chat earlier. He may or may not be still in there now. It's an 11-year single barrel. So I thought, you know what? Let's finish this flight and see how this thing compares to maybe the winner or all three of them. All right, so glass 1 is down. Let's go to glass 2 now. Ooh, glass. Wow, I got to go back and forth. Glass 2 is actually even a little bit brighter on the orange and citrus notes. Even sharper. And when I go between glass 1 and glass 2 now, I thought glass 1 was kind of bright and spicy and sharp. When I go back to it, I actually get a lot more funky leather, funky oak on the nose, funky tobacco, which is nice. This is why side-by-sides and blinds are so important. Glass 2 has a lot more brown sugar and nutmeg and baking spice overall. Is that right? Let me confirm. Yeah, I think that's right. More baking spices overall. Nutmeg, cinnamon, brown sugar. A little sharper orange and lemon citrus type notes. Yeah, interesting. None of these are like blowing me away on the nose right now. I don't know why that is. I don't know. Whiskey Wishing Well, I have LLJD. I like it more than King Kentucky. Oh. Wow. Well, that's good for you, because that means you're not going to be tempted to shell out secondary on King of Kentucky. But that's a bold statement. I can't say that I like it more than King of Kentucky, but I do like it. I do like it. Hey, can a mod take care of that? I don't even know if I have a mod in here right now, guys. I don't have this video pulled up. I don't have my actual YouTube chat up right now. I only have StreamYard chat. If there's a mod in here, can you get them out of here and let me know that you did? Let me see what I can do. Oh, JG got it. Thank you, Jay. Ashton, yeah, fake news. The King of Kentucky catalyst, I guess, is what you are. Okay, let's go to glass 3 now and see what we get here. Ooh, this one's tamer on the nose. Flatter, tamer on the nose. So I'm going to do nose first. I'll rank them on the nose officially. Like, I will write it in my phone, a rank on the nose. And then we'll go to the palate on all of these. But this one is flatter and darker on the nose. When I think flatter and darker, and I think about what I talked about earlier, the blending of these 3 Russell's 13 batches, the most recent batch 3 has the oldest barrels in the blend. If I had to think darker, I would think that this would be the batch 3, but I don't know. And I'm not going to look at the bottom until the end of the flight. Ooh. Funky oak. Super, super funky oak in here. And just chocolate for days. Hershey's chocolate syrup. And oh man, and there's like a cherries that have been left out in the sun or something, and they've just gotten kind of weird. Yeah. Clove in here. Spiced oranges. Wow. All right, let me do a quick run through 1, 2, 3 on the nose, and then I'll go to the palate. Glass 1, as I return to it, little green apple peel, but a beautiful, beautiful funky oak. Glass 2. A little bit sharper on the spice, like I talked about earlier. Yep. And a really big ethanol punch. And then now glass 3 again. Yeah, still. This has, this almost smells a little bit too much on the oak side of things, where it's coming off like flat, damp, musty wood for glass 3. I got this note I had a Kentucky Mule yesterday. And there's a thing in a Kentucky Mule with the ginger and with the citrus that I talked about on a video recently, which was like the smell of a Lysol wipe that sat in a trash can too long, where it just gets this funky, lemony, gingery, like staleness. Glass 3 has that. All right. If I had to guess, I'm going to say this off the nose, so you guys don't think I'm bullshitting, whatever. You saw me mix these up. I would say glass 1 is batch 2. I'd say glass 2 is batch 1, and glass 3 is batch 3. And I'm going to write that down just randomly. You know, just these guesses I'm going to write down. So I'm going to say glass 1 is batch 2. Glass 2 is batch 1. And this doesn't matter. What matters is what I like more. And this could be wrong, and I know it could be wrong. Now, if I had to rank these on the nose, oh, that's really tough. It's between glass 1 and 2 on the nose. Give me 1 second. This is really hard. It's like a mood thing on the nose for me. All right, I am going to rank these. Glass 1 is first place for me. Glass 3, let's see. Glass 3 is second. I'm writing this down. Glass 3 is second place. And glass 2 is third place. But I could switch numbers 2 and 3 in my ranking on the nose. But I think glass 1 for me is the clear winner on the nose. It's got a balance of not only the funky oak, leather, peanut butter characteristics, but it also has enough spice to keep it lively. And the balance of the oak and the body of the whiskey is really nice. It's a little bit perfumed also. I'm starting to pick up on a little perfume note. Damn, glass 2 is good though, and I have it ranked third. Let's go to glass 3. I might have to change that. I might have to put glass 2 in second. Jeez, this is tough, guys. Jay, hey, I just saw this before I went live, guys. Jerry Black's wife just passed away, and if you want to donate to help cover some of those funeral expenses, that's the GoFundMe link, and you can find it in the Bourbon Junkies and the ADHD Whiskey Facebook groups and everything like that. I don't know if links are clickable if you post them, Jay. Maybe they are because you're a mod. They are clickable because you're a mod. Good. Okay. Guys, yeah, please, if you can donate, that is the link to do it. and obviously like thoughts, prayers, condolences, well wishes, everything to Jerry Black. It's tragic. Yeah, Amy posted it as well. Thank you, Amy. At the end of the next song, I'll probably change up the playlist. It's been rolling on this one for a while. Stanley says, here's 2 entries from me. Let me get you in here, man. The mash bill. 2 entries. Do you have get any nuts on the palate? We know how much you like nuts. Jeez, I didn't read that before I said it out loud. And no, thanks for the super chat, man. Getting an entry in here. Sorry to hijack your live, but there's a GoFundMe link for Jerry Black's family in the chat. Is why Passway. We need to support our own. Absolutely will. No, that's not hijacking at all, man. I meant to say something about that earlier, and thank you guys for posting that in there. I really appreciate it. If you can, please consider donating. I'm going to go back and quickly nose through these one more time. I want to make sure I am solid on my nosing rank here. While I do this, if you can give $5, $10, $15, $25, $50 to Jerry Black's GoFundMe link, please do that. This is tough on the nose. One thing I've learned from doing Map Madness and doing a lot of blind flights is go with your first impression. Go with your gut. And my gut was ranked 1, 2, 3. I need to take this off the screen. 1, 2, 3 was my gut. My last place might become my first place. All right, I'm going to leave that as my nose ranking for now, as my first impression. But I'm going to say maybe glass 2 is best, LOL. Okay, let me go to the palate now. Let's try these. All right, here we go. Let's go with glass 1 on the palate. Cheers. So good. I'm gonna take like two sips of each. I gotta make sure I leave enough. But 2 sips of each before I move on to the next. Because the first one is gonna jar your palate, and the second one is when you can start to get into the fine details. Wow, that's very nicely balanced on the palate between all of the spice notes, the sweet classic Kentucky bourbon notes, and all of the funky oak, leather, and tobacco notes I talked about. It falls off a little quickly on the palate. It doesn't quite last as long as you want it to on the palate. So that's my only complaint about that. The finish, beautiful. The oak in the finish is nearly perfect in terms of a balance between sweet and funky. All right. Let me go to glass 2 now. Holy shit, glass 2 is smelling really good now on the nose. Much longer development with the spice on the palate in glass 2. Yeah. Ooh, that is the transitions from front of palate all the way through into the finish. It's seamless, front to back. A little musty. Maybe a little too musty on the back end. Ooh, but that is lively and active. I really, really like it. Horses and Bourbon, what is up? I'm going to meet you very soon. Good evening, all. Received your package, opening it tonight. Thank you. Yes, of course. Giveaway win for Horses and Bourbon there. And someone else who's going to be at the Junkies meetup, which is awesome. I got you entered for 2 on the giveaway. Thank you so much. And the other sample flight winner from, that was last week, I believe. Right here. Drums and Drams, epic sample flight win. Thank you so much. No, thank you for supporting the channel, and I'm glad you won that. That's awesome. And you're going to the meetup too as well, right? All right, let's go on to glass. Actually, I need to take a second sip of glass too. Getting into some more chocolate notes on the second sip now in glass 2. That first sip was so well put together from spiciness to sweet all throughout the palate. Second sip, same thing. Perfect. Perfect front to back palate experience on glass 2. That is special. Wow. I think I have an idea of which batch each of these is, but we'll see at the end. I'll see if I can call these correctly. It's so confusing doing these blind. It's more confusing than I thought it would be, and I'm very happy about that. Toshi, I know, man. Yeah, I read on the GoFundMe, because Jerry put the GoFundMe together, and this is one thing, when tragedy strikes, death in the family or a really bad car accident that leaves somebody, dealing with insurmountable hospital bills or whatever the case, often you see like friends putting up the GoFundMe because the person who it affected, Jerry, the family, whoever, it's, those are the people that usually are grieving and, aren't in a position where they want to get online and ask for money immediately. And it's also probably got to be really hard to have that just happen to you and to be writing about it in a GoFundMe paragraph, and so to see Jerry put that out there, I was like, oh my God, to have to tell that story from his point of view, it makes me emotional, so I'm going to get on there and donate after this stream. But yeah, you guys, if you want to forgo your super chats, and I really appreciate them, but if you've got $10 to go around, that $10 should go to Jerry. It should not go to me, where YouTube takes a 30% cut and the IRS takes another 25%. It should go to Jerry. So, yeah. Almost 4,000 donated, says Jay. That's fucking awesome. The whiskey community is ridiculously amazing. Yeah. One more cast says, yes, well, tomorrow morning. Awesome. I will meet you there then. All right. Let me get to glass 3 now. On the palate. Yeah, again, I come back to the nose here. Flatter on the nose, much more reserved, and just like chocolate syrup. Super, super funky. Just like reminding me of the 17-year bottle in the Bond Master's Keep. This has got to be batch. If this isn't batch 3, am I going to bet my belt on it? I would probably bet that belt that this is the 3rd release of Russell's 13. I think. Let me taste it. Oh my God, the palate. It's a little too funky, yes. Ooh, it fell off quick. It fell off right there. Where'd it go? That was weird. That was a weird... It didn't it didn't die all the way on the palate. It died, and then it was just like plateaued at like 20% of what it was. That is like a single note wonder. Glass 3 is so insanely dark and sweet. Oh my, it's dessert. It is a chocolate sundae. It is dessert. But it's a one-note wonder. The complexity is not there from the other glasses. But what it does have is amazing. Wow, I gotta do one more sip of this. In just a second, my palate's still kind of tingling a little bit. All right. Guys, just a reminder, while I'm thinking about it, there's about 70 people in here. I can't say 69. It's like, so guys, I got a music education degree in my undergrad. And when you're teaching kids, you're teaching a band class as a student teacher. You can't, if you're conducting and you're in a band piece, you can't say, "All right, everybody, let's start at measure 69." You can't say that because everyone's gonna start snickering, So there's 69 in the chat, but if you're teaching band, you say, "Guys, can we start the measure before measure 70?" That's what you say. You don't ever say, "Let's pick it up in measure 69." So there's right now there's 3 people less than 70 in the chat. But a second ago there was 1 less than 70. That's funny. All right, let me do one more sip of glass 3. Wow. That is so dark and sweet. Second sip. Grape. So much grape and purple, dark purple fruit. Ooh. That's good on the palate, man. Yeah, you're right, Amy. We are basically all children. Like whiskey to me is Pokemon cards from being a kid. It's like you got to catch them all. You got to have all the whiskeys. And recently, in local groups here in Ohio, I've just been selling off. I don't know how many of you guys in the chat are in like local trade whiskey groups or buy-sell groups. But, in Ohio, like locally here, in a couple of groups I'm in, we will buy and sell open bottles. And I've just been getting rid of so much stuff. It's like you have 500-600 bottles. It's like I have more whiskey than I can drink in 15 years. There's no reason to have this much whiskey. And like get some of this out of here, collecting dust, and have people enjoy it, and mark it way down and have them enjoy it at a reasonable price. That's what I've been doing recently. Also, I didn't say this earlier. I've spent the most money I've ever spent on a bottle of whiskey on an anniversary gift for Sarah. And like, it's our first anniversary. We want to take like a really nice trip. We know we can't do it till next year. So instead of dealing with anything related to that, I was like, our relationship is not wrapped up around whiskey. I know I'm going to get back to this blind flight. I promise. If you're watching the replay, I'm so sorry. Just fast forward. Our relationship is not wrapped up around whiskey, but we both love whiskey. It's one of those things we get to do together sometimes. And for our for my proposal, I used the Wild Turkey Master's Keep bottle in Bond 17 as like I used the box as a place to hold her ring. It was a whole thing. It's on video. It's great. It worked out perfectly. It was so smooth. I'm happy about that. We drank that whiskey, the 17 year, where we got married on a mountain in Colorado by this beautiful lake in our hiking gear. It was amazing. For the wedding date, I have 3 Blanton's store picks for the wedding date. An A for Anthony, which is my first name, an S for Sarah, and an L for Leach, our last name. So I have those 3 bottles, and we've opened up the S bottle, which is behind me here. For our first anniversary, I wasn't planning on doing anything whiskey. I was up drinking the other night, as one does. And I was scrolling a secondary group on Facebook, and lo and behold, a one of those French Blantons from La Maison du Whiskey, LMDW, if you know the acronym, if you've seen that. They usually go for like $700, $800 on secondary. There was a barrel that was sent to Singapore, and this guy was asking an absurd amount of money. I'll just tell you, it was $2,000, right? And it's like a single barrel that went to Singapore that was picked by LMDW. Higher proof, I don't remember, 115 maybe, 120 proof Blantons, something like that. The color was great. I don't know the age statement on it. Had a nice box. It was beautifully presented Blantons. And I just was like, holy shit, that's a $2,000 Blantons. And then I scroll down, and the dump date was 8/26, which is our wedding date. And I was like, 8/26/21. I'm like, damn it. And then the letter was the letter L for Leach. And I was like, am I going to buy this bottle? And I bought it. So that's gonna arrive next week. And to me, the purchase was, I don't even know if or when we will open that bottle. But it was like, I bought these 3 Blantons for our initials, all of our initials. Store pick from the date of our wedding, and those were like $150 a piece, and I'm happy to spend that for these very commemorative items. But then this one epic bottle, this one barrel that went to Singapore, picked by LMDW, it just so happened to be on the date, and it was so fortuitous, and I'm up, and it's a coincidence that I see it. I know. They got me. And I just pulled the trigger on it. So $2,000, the most I have ever spent to this point for a bottle of whiskey. And so much of that is wrapped up in like sentimental value and all that kind of stuff. But so I think I'm going to be like, hey, let's keep this closed until a special. Sarah's probably going to say, let's open it right now. And so we'll probably just open it. Damn it. Next week. And if it sucks, I will be heartbroken. I will be heartbroken. Mark, that would absolutely I have one backup of that bottle, and I'm almost out of the one that we have up there. My idea for that bottle has been to drink it on Christmas Eve, which is when I proposed every year. That's like our Christmas Eve bottle. And then to open the last one that we will ever probably have on our 17th anniversary. So the one, like, we're going to kill this. We're going to need another one for the next 16 years. And our 17th anniversary, I would love to have another one to open. We went through the last couple too fast. So Daniel P., who's maybe not in the chat tonight, maybe he'll catch the replay. He sent me one at cost, which was an incredibly generous thing to do, but we flew through that bottle. And that's my bad. So I do need to get another one. So Mark, send me an email or a message and let's talk about trading for that, man, because that's a really special whiskey for us. We just got to stop drinking them so fast. We got to just leave it for Christmas Eve. 21090, what is up? I'm assuming, is that Todd hanging out? Yeah, Whiskey is wishing well says if it sucks, it will last a long time. It's a lot of money for it to suck, though. Holy crap. All right, guys. My palate has relaxed. Let's see where we're at with these 3 Russells. Damn. God. Hey, there's 80 people in the chat. I'm doing this Russell's 13 blind flight for those of you just now jumping in. As you do come in here, first off, thank you for being here. Secondly, hit the like button. Third, weird, shameless plug, but check out my Instagram and please give it a follow. I plugged that earlier. I should plug it again. But the giveaway for tonight, as you can see scrolling down here, 1 ounce of everything I'm drinking tonight, which is all 3 releases of Russell's 13 to date, which I'm blind tasting right now. Old Forester 117 Whiskey Row Fire, 2 travel retail exclusives of Jack Daniels, a rye and a whiskey, Tennessee whiskey, Sherbrooke 14-year rye, and the 2022 Michter's 10 rye. So that's the giveaway tonight. 2 winners, 1 ounce sample of all 8 of those pours. So get your entries in. We will draw for that. It's 9:54. Probably by 10:15 we will draw for that giveaway. Jay, she is too good for me, man. Yeah, she's just too good for me. Cody C. Cheers. Would love to finally try some Russell's 13. Thank you so much, Cody. I appreciate the $20 super chat. I got you in for 4 entries now into tonight's giveaway. Thank you so much. Yeah, Brian, I'm going to get to the Sherbrooke after this blind, but I had some last night, and it's pretty good. Woo! All right. Let me check out the chat here, guys. Okay. Holy crap, Mark with a $20 super chat. I'm in. Cheers, Cam. Thank you, Mark. Good Lord, man. You're too freaking generous. Thank you so much. 4 entries for the giveaway. And yeah, Mark, I probably will not remember. I'll write it in my phone, but I hope I look at this tomorrow. Mark, and I'm going to say Mark R, and I'll say Wild Turkey, Master's Keep, Bottled and Bond 17, possible trade. Because, man, that would mean a lot to us to get another one of those bottles. Guys, Jerry Black, go check out that GoFundMe link that people have been sharing around in the chat. Hendo and Amy have been sharing it a little bit earlier. Let me scroll back and find it. Right here. This GoFundMe link. Scroll back in the chat, find it. Jerry Black's wife passed away unexpectedly, trying to cover some funeral expenses, and the whiskey community is showing up and showing out for that family. So, all right. Let me do a final pass through of these 3 Russell's 13 batches. Thank you for the 75 of you hanging out tonight. And then I'm going to put these in an order. And then we have a few more to taste after this, after the giveaway. So we're going to go a little late tonight. But I have a Zbiotics in me, so let's see if I don't feel like total dog shit in the morning. All right, a quick once through on the nose confirms my initial order. And like I said, with whiskey, I am so in this category now. 90% of me says first impressions are everything with whiskey. I think on the nose, I give glass 1 the edge. And then I said glass 3, and then I said glass 2. And it's because glass 2 just comes off a little too alcoholic and spicy to me. So, okay. On the palate, glass 1. It's just like I said earlier, it falls off a little bit soon on the palate. But the oak is maybe the best out of the bunch on glass 1, but it falls off early. So it won on the nose because of that oak. On the palate, it didn't quite live up to that. Glass 2. Layers on the palate of glass 2. The spice hits you first. It comes in waves. The spice came back 3 times as sweeter notes. Vanilla, chocolate, caramel, orange, all started intermingling. The spice has already come back a number of times. The palate on glass 2 is nearly perfect. And now to glass 3, which is, again, a little more one-dimensional and darker on the nose, a little flatter. Yeah. One hit wonder. That's what I said earlier. That's what I'm going to stand by now. This is hard because the palates on these differ from the noses, and it's extremely clear. You have to give the edge to the palate, though. Right? Like, you're here to drink whiskey, not to smell whiskey. So, palate rank, glass 2 wins, which was my last place on the nose. Second place on the palate, this is really tough. I'm going to try to find second and third place on the palate between glasses 1 and 3. Again, 1, the flaw was that it fell off early on the palette. And glass 3's flaw is it's a little one-dimensional and a little too funky. So let's start with glass 1. A lot of nuts on glass 1. Yeah, it fell off so fast. All right, glass 3. Holy shit, is Nancy in the chat? Nancy, what's up? Nancy, are you going to be at the Junkies? Rumor had it that you were considering going to the Junkies meetup. I don't know if that's based on want to or if it's based on schedule availability. But if you're at the Junkies meetup, I cannot effing wait to meet you. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Amy, give me 1 second. Let me pull that up here. Let me just make sure I'm all good beforehand. Okay. So Amy says, where's this at? Thank you, Hendo, for pointing that out. Amy, Cam, are you up for a raffle to highest bidder for a bottle tonight for Jerry Black? Amy, spell that out a little more clearly for me. Whatever it is, I'm up for it. So spell that out a little more clearly for me. Whose bottle, highest bidder on the GoFundMe? Is that what you mean? Just let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. We will do whatever. Roy, Rare Breed does not compete with these, but what does compete, the travel exclusive Rare Breed non-chill filtered, which has to have older barrels in that blend. That does compete with these, but it's still not close. The actual blending of that, in terms of how it develops on the palate, could compete, but the flavor profile is just not as dark because there are significantly younger barrels in that batch. Amy, I have a bottle to raffle off. Highest bidder pays me, and I will forward to Jerry. Amy, how do you want to run that? Let me know how you think that like logistically can go, and I'm in. Whatever you want to do. There's 80 people in the chat. Those 80 people, I'm sure so many of them want to help Jerry's family. Jerry just lost his wife unexpectedly, a member of the Whiskey Tube community, and I'm sure we could all show out for this. So, Amy, let me know how you want to do this, and let's make it happen. Trev, what's up, man? Oh, Nancy was going to go, but unfortunately I'm too busy trying to get some third and fourth quarter products out the door. However, I just shipped Dan Shook 5 bottles of bourbons that I blended for the event. Nancy, holy shit. That's awesome. So I was thinking about bringing a cigar blend, but I was like, if you're going to be there, maybe I shouldn't bring a cigar blend because maybe you're going to bring like 1 million of them to pop. Nancy, can I... Well, I don't want you to have to put it in the chat if it's a surprise. But I was thinking about either like maybe bringing the Freebird batch, but whatever I bring is, I'll have one pour. Everybody else is going to do it at the bottle share. It won't come home with me. I have the Return of the Dark one, batch 83. I have the Freebird batch, and then I have a batch 38, which is an older one. I don't know. I should bring one of... Maybe I'll bring one of them. I don't know. Amy, we should maybe do the giveaway for tonight before this. I know there will be some attrition of viewers at that point, but maybe we should do that and get that out of the way first so that we don't mix and match the giveaway with the raffle that you're talking about for Jerry. What do you think about that? Congrats on the Sherwood. I was refreshing like crazy at the drop. It's too slow. I have a whole system for this now, Cody, with Seal Box. They were gone in about 35 seconds. Bro, Trev, come on, dude. Look, I'm not trying to be a cocky McCockerson. Well, I shouldn't have said that. That didn't come out the way I intended. I'm not trying to be a wienerhead on blind flights, but dude, come on. I'll compete with you any day, man. Let's do it. What do you do when the whiskey that's worse on the nose is best on the palate? What do you do? I don't want the whiskey that's second place in both of these things to be the winner. You know? That's what I don't want. I don't know how to weigh this out. $89 in the chat. Trev says Mick Cockerson. You heard it here first. Keith, we do. Yeah, This is the move. Maybe this is the move, Amy, for Jerry Black, is to just do a fundraiser night. Let me go up. Let me scroll up and see what Amy said. If she responded to that. Yeah, she said yep. Probably in response to doing it after the giveaway. Amy, what do you think? You want to try to do it tonight? I'm down to stay up and do this because I have plenty more to taste. We can run it while I do it, the whole thing. $90 in the chat. I've never had 90 in the chat for a solo live stream, guys, by the way. So that is amazing. If you are just now jumping in, I'm finishing up this Russell's 13 blind flight. It's taking me entirely too long. Hang out, check out the results. Hit that like button, please and thank you. And we are running a giveaway 1 ounce samples of everything that I'm tasting tonight. All 3 batches of Russell's 13, 117 Series Whiskey Row Fire, Michter's 10 Rye 2022, Sherbrooke 14-year MGP Rye Whiskey, and 2 Jack Daniel's Travel Retail exclusives, a Tennessee Whiskey and a Rye at 107 proof. 2 winners for that giveaway. That is an 8 ounce sample giveaway. Venmo, PayPal gets you an entry. I don't think anybody's done that so far tonight. And Super Chats, obviously. Every $5 is an entry to tonight's giveaway. So get in. Oh, I missed a Super Chat. Tight Cuts. I just scrolled up, and I'm so sorry about that. Let me enter you right now so I don't forget. Gotcha. Cam, you and a band of Bourbon need to get together and break down about... We do. We freaking do. Brian, I need to get with Brian, and I need to get with Todd and Andy on a stream collab. Needs to happen. Paul says, hot damn night. I know, Paul. Moving on up in the world, man. Down to 80 now, but, you know, we're fluctuating. Then that's totally the way it goes. Jeb says, have the Sherbrooke on the way. I'll have to rewind to see your thoughts. No. I haven't had my thoughts yet. It's coming after this Russell's 13 blind wraps up. I just got to get through it. I drums and poorly played guitars and drams. I love it. All right, let me find Amy. She says, let's do it. Sweet. Nancy sent Cigar Blend Batch 92, a.k.a. 1892. The special batch of Cigar Blend I made that has a lot of 20-year-old in it, as well as a splash of the... Holy crap, Nancy. Can I call dibs on a half ounce of that already? That is amazing. That is amazing, Nancy. I'm sure everybody at the event is going to be pining for a chance to get to try that. And you're incredibly kind for sending that along. That's freaking awesome. A lot of people saying, go with the palette on this. Go with the palette. All right. Nicholas says, does this background song have a title? It does. It's a royalty-free song on Epidemic Sound, which is a place where you can kind of get songs for YouTube videos and things. So I don't know what it is. It's just in a 20-minute playlist I have that's on loop right now. I need to remember to change the playlist back over at the end of this. Dude, Richie, I do get giddy when Nancy's around. Nancy, it was so nice to have Nancy on the channel however many months ago that was, and that was a really fun experience, and hopefully down the line I can have Nancy back on the channel, and hopefully in person. It would be so cool to set up and do a live thing with Nancy in the same room. I have a dream in my head of doing kind of a travel series, but it's a little ways off because the channel doesn't pull in enough money to make that happen just yet. Oh, Nancy, I can't do that. Everybody's got to get a chance at trying that one, but I'll have whatever I can fit in my glass at the event, but there's going to be so many people there that, you know. All right, guys. Last round through this blind flight. just on the palate very quickly. Wow, glass 2 is so insane on the palate. I think I know which of the 3 releases all of these are now. All right. All right, let's do this. Let me give you my breakdown here. Confirming one small thing. Yeah. All right, let's do this. So on the nose, here's my rankings on the nose. Glass number 1 is my favorite on the nose. Glass number 3 is my second favorite. And glass number 2 is in last. On the palate, glass number 2 is my favorite, which is weird. Glass number 1 is second. But honestly, it's basically a tie with glass number 3, which is third on the palate. Everybody in the chat is saying go with the palate. That means glass 2 wins overall. That means glass 1 is in second and glass 3 is in third. Let me tell you how I think this broke down. I have not looked at these. You saw me mix them up like an hour and a half ago because holy shit, this has taken forever. I believe that 1, 2, 3 is 1, 2, 3 with the batches in the release order. So let's start with glass 3, which is in last place. This got third on both of them on nose and palate, but it could have tied on palate. I said that this particular glass was a little one-dimensional. It was the darkest of the bunch, but it was so dark, maybe a little overdone, a little tired overall. I think this is Russell's Reserve Batch 3, and it is Russell's Reserve Batch 3, which is the 2022 edition. There's just so much 20-year and 18-year and 14 and 15-year in here that I just think it's a little too much. Need to turn that sound off on my computer. Okay. Now, glass 2, this was really contested. It could be a tie with glass 3, honestly. Glass 3 is so dark, one-dimensional, and aged, whereas glass 2 had a little bit more of a funky oak note. It had a wider spectrum of flavors. This was so dark, this had a wider spectrum, but it fell off on the palate. Just fell off in the mid palate and never recovered. I believe this is Russell's Batch 2. LL/JL laser code. And it is... I'm wrong. That is number 1. That is Batch 1. Ooh, paradigm shift. Okay. So that means that the winner is the LL/JL laser code, which is technically Batch 2 or Batch 1.5, however you want to look at it. So this has been my favorite so far, is number 2, but I legitimately thought tonight that was going to come in second based on the palette. I was wrong about what I thought these were blind. So glass... Weird. I get it now, but I did not get it blind. I did get glass 3. This is... Here's what I'm going to say. So, I had Batch 2 winning. LLJL laser code, Batch 2. strikes a really nice balance with all of the flavors here. I'm like at a loss for words right now. All of these are mood pours. That's what I need to say. The only one that sticks out like a sore thumb, I should say, is the newest batch, batch 3, LL/KE. That one is so dark and so one-dimensional that I could pick that out of a lineup. And I did tonight. It's so funky and so old, and it kind of hinders it just a little bit. If you can find these all at MSRP, buy as many as you can, obviously. But batch 3 for me is like, I don't know that I need a backup of it. It's novel to taste something this old, chocolatey, funky, one-dimensional. But I don't need a bunch of that. Something more complex like batches 1 and 2, that's where I want to go. Batch 2 wins tonight. It strikes the best balance between all of these things. Yeah. So that's it. LL/JL for me, which was winning for me unblind. Tonight, I thought I was wrong. I thought that was going to be batch 1, but it was not. So, wow. Batch 2 is the one. It adds a little bit more of an oak. Well, let's see. That's just not what I expected. I can't wait to do this again on my own time and also do it unblind in a review. That's insane. Whoever wins this flight tonight, I hope you email me after you compare all 3 of these and let me know what you think. It's going to be interesting. So I know I missed a few super chats. Let me get into this. Sorry, guys. 89 people in here. You guys are amazing. Thank you for hanging out. If you're just joining in, hit that like button. We do have a giveaway going. We're going to draw for that giveaway. I said 10:15. It's 10:17. So let's go to 10:25 for the giveaway. Officially 10:25 because I am done with this. We will draw. Then we will cut the giveaway at 10:23. We will draw at 10:25. And then please don't tune out after that. I know if you have to go to bed, it's Thursday night. I get it. You're going to go to the Junkies meetup tomorrow. Me too. Who gives a shit? We're going to help Jerry Black's family. His wife unexpectedly passed away. This is not an official Jerry Black fundraiser stream. That needs to happen, and I hope that does happen in the next couple of days. But we are going to do a bottle auction with Amy Bohm in the chat, and those funds will be contributed directly to the GoFundMe of Jerry Black and his family for funeral expenses and other expenses related to the death of his wife, who had they had kids. It's just the most tragic shit, and I don't. Amy can post a GoFundMe link. Hendo can post a GoFundMe link. You can read the story there. That's all. We're going to get to that. I want to get through this giveaway. Then we're going to get to that bottle auction. Amy's going to talk to us about what that bottle is going to be. So I just want to say thank you, Amy, for doing that. And for those of you in here, let's do what we can tonight, randomly on a whim, 2.5 hours into a live stream to raise a little bit of money for Jerry Black and his family. That's what I want to say. All right, let me catch up with the chat. Sorry, guys. Let me make a... Should I make a super blend of Russell's 13? I can't believe that went the way it did tonight. Here we go. We're going to blind all 3 Maryland Heritage Series 14-year rise and then blend all 3 for a future live. Count me in for that. Are we gonna collab on that 21090? I'm not inviting myself, but we should collab on that. Just saying. This is hilarious, Greg. That's hilarious. Oh my! I didn't know that existed, dude. She sent me like one of the older Still Austins from the barrel. I don't know if that's the same one, actually. She sent it for that live stream we did. It was like maybe almost a 4-year sample. It was incredible. All right, let me get these let me get these super chats, I should say, into the spreadsheet here. Mike B, new to the channel. What took me so long? I don't know, Mike, but I'm glad you're here, man. And you're seeing the best and the worst of Drums and Drams. So if you're still here, thank you. Paul Brogan, $5 super chat. Thank you, Paul. No message, but I appreciate the support and the entry into tonight's giveaway. Hendo is throwing one more in. Sorry, guys, just catching up. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Brian, I have a batch 2 backup that's going to get here any day now. I have one more backup of batch 1 and no backups for batch 3, which I'm actually okay with after tonight. Brian, Russell's batch 2 won, LL/JL. Okay, Dunny, real quick. Dunny says, help Cam, please show on the Russell's 13 bottle where the codes are. I cannot find it on my bottles. It's not going to show up very well, Dunny, on my close-up camera, but I will do my best. They're all on the lowest, like, fat glass portion of the bottle where there's no liquid. And so, let me cut to that camera. Okay? Those of you who are hanging out tonight, who came in the last, like, hour and a half, haven't seen this close-up camera. Dunny, the laser code is right here. You can kind of see some lettering. It's not super clear on the bottom of the bottle right now, but you can kind of see some lettering down here. I know there's this gross streak where, you know, the whiskey has poured out of the bottle there, but it's right down here on that bottom portion. So there you go. Oh, and is Andy on the 21090 account? I did not know that. That's hilarious. Aiden, I have a store pick I'm going to compare it to here in just a second, actually. But I don't know. We'll see. Aiden, Jerry's wife passed away, man. Royan says, let's double my luck. I got you in there, Roy. Wait, Todd and Andy are in here? What is happening? From the non-bald one. Okay, I'm just now getting to this. 21090. Let me get you in the giveaway. That's hilarious. Okay, guys, let me keep scrolling down here. Scott, another $10 super chat. I need to win those Russell's 13 samples. Thank you, Scott, for the super chat, and best of luck to you on the giveaway. Let's get you in for 2 more here. All right, we're gonna super chats in the next 30 seconds are fine. After that, they're cut off. It is 10:23. We have to cut them off now. Okay. Checking in. 93 in chat. Now it's down to 79. I know. Oh, well. Okay. So that's it, guys. Scott, how many giveaway entries did you get on that last one? It's 2, not 10. Jeez, I screwed that up. Okay. Wow. You guys are amazing on tonight's giveaway. Incredibly generous. You know what? We're doing 3 sample pack giveaways. I don't even know if I have enough 1-ounce sample bottles, so somebody might have to wait 5 or 6 days for more bottles to get here. We're doing 3 giveaways. There are 92 super chats, which is ridiculous. So we're going to do 3 giveaways of this 1-ounce sample flight. So that's going to bring my Russell's batch 3 Gonna bring it down a little bit, but that's okay. In the name of science, for your comparisons, and for you supporting the channel, that's amazing. We'll do 3 giveaway boxes. Those will go out by mid next week because I'm leaving tomorrow for the Junkies meetup. We still have to get to the Sherbrooke 14-year rye after this, and when we do that, and also take a look at this Russell's 11-year store pick next to these Russell's 13s, Amy is going to be doing an epic giveaway on a bottle that she's going to announce to benefit Jerry Black's family. So, Paul Graham, I will get you in at the last minute, man. You jumped in here at the very, very last minute for this with 10 more entries. And we're going to draw right now. Now there's freaking hang on. Freaking 102 entries into the giveaway. Jesus Christ. That's amazing. So three giveaway packs. Paul, you're amazing, man. Hendo says $4,320 so far for Jerry Black's family. You guys are amazing, and we're going to raise hopefully a little bit more money for that tonight. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen with everybody. Make sure I'm doing this right. Share screen. Let me pull up random.org. All right. Let me share. We don't need that one in there. We just need to do this way. Let me get this out of here. Okay. Sorry. Technical difficulties. There we go. So, random.org, lists and more, list randomizer. The top 3 people on this list win tonight's sample pack. No duplicate winners. That is the rule. So there you go. Those are all the entries for tonight's giveaway. And if you want to see them in the actual spreadsheet, here it is. Thanks to Amy, I've populated this spreadsheet with ease, with unbelievable ease, because she has set this up so wonderfully. Top 3 are going to win after 7 spins in tonight's giveaway. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have one more spin, and before I do this, I am dropping my email in the chat. For those of you who win, you have to email me at this email address with your name, your address, and you can tell me that you won on tonight's stream. It's right here. drumsanddrams@gmail.com. I need to know your name and your address. You need to email me so I know that you won, and I will send this out by midweek next week. All right? That's it. Here's the final spin on tonight's giveaway. No duplicate winners. Here we go. Good luck. Stanley Wags, the mash bill is a winner. Mark Royland and Hendo. So Scott almost got this, and Paul Graham almost got this, which have been 2 big supporters tonight. I'm so sorry, guys. You didn't come out on top. I have to say thank you again so much for all of your support. And thank you to everybody else on the stream tonight for your support as well. This is not the end of the stream, by the way. But Stanley Wags, Mark Royland, and Will Hendo Henderson, you guys are the winners of tonight's giveaway for a 1-ounce sample pack of everything that you see on this stream. Winners. What is tonight? What is today's date? Is it the 18th? Stanley, Mark Royland, and Hendo. I'm putting that in my phone so I remember. But this is not over yet. We're going to raise some money on an impromptu bottle auction from Amy Boehm in the chat. She's going to tell us about it here in just a second. For the family of Jerry Black, who's a member of the Whiskey Tube community, whose wife unexpectedly passed away. And so we're going to be doing that. Amy's going to give us the details on how that's going to work, and we're going to do that tonight, right now, as I taste through a Russell's store pick and kind of talk about how that compares to the Russell's 13 blind I just did, and also this Sherbrooke 14-year rye. And then I guess I have to get to the Jack Daniels rye, too. We'll see what we can get to tonight. And then we're going to wrap the stream up. So it's going to go a little bit late, but that's cool. It's a Thursday night. It's like almost Friday. Amy. Amy, by the way, open invite if you want to jump on the stream. If you don't want to, if you're like not in a position to like jump on the stream, video chat, whatever, you totally don't have to. But if you do want to jump on tonight and, chat about this, more than like, I'll send you the StreamYard link. No worries. But Amy says, and congratulations, by the way, I see it in the chat. Congrats to the winners. You guys, thank you so much for your support and for everybody else for super chatting tonight. Amy says, oh, let me change the playlist. Let's go to the Weird Drum album mix. Ready? Let's try this. I haven't done this on a live stream yet. Let's see what this sounds like. Amy says either Kentucky Owl Rye Batch 2, 11 year, or E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, like 2018. Amy, both of those are high-powered bottles. I mean, E.H. Taylor's maybe going to bring more, but if there's I don't know if you're going to part with both of them. If you ended up parting with both, I would go Kentucky Owl tonight and E.H. Taylor on a more dedicated stream for Jerry Black. If you're just going to go tonight, I would say E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof will probably bring the most bids. So, Amy, that's incredibly generous of you. Chat, please put in the chat right now, what do you want to see? Kentucky Owl Rye Batch 2, which is an 11-year rye. And by the way, I only have Batch 3, which is stupid good. Stupid good. Or E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. What do you guys want to see in the chat for tonight's bottle giveaway? Amy will part with one tonight. We've got a few votes for E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. We're going to do kind of an impromptu charity bid where all of the money is going to go to Amy, which will then in turn be sent to the GoFundMe for Jerry Black. Paul is in the mood to overbid, especially for an older E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. 2018, that's got to be an earlier batch. It sounds like E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof is it, Amy. Amy, how long do you think? And by the way, David is right. Amy, you are a rock star. How long are you thinking for the bidding window? Is this like a 10 to 15 minute or like a 25 to 30 minute kind of thing? What are we talking here? And again, open invite if you want to jump on the stream. Totally your call. Nancy Fraley coming in hot. Can I put up for auction a signed bottle of Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend Batch 84? I think you can. I absolutely think you can, Nancy. Sorry, I almost called you Amy. You're both freaking amazing. Holy shit. What's the best way to do this? Please, chat, help me out here. Best way to do this, if we have two bottles on this auction, do we do two separate auctions, or do we do first and second bidder bidding for one or both of the bottles? Then we have to rank the bottles first and second place. So should we do two separate 10-minute auctions for both of these? Is that the deal? Yeah. Shots fired, Nancy. Thank you. Oh my, that's amazing. Oof, I don't want to get emotional. Oof. Sorry, guys. Wow. That's two separate, says the chat. No, Nancy, you're not stealing any thunder. You're fucking awesome. You both are awesome. Okay. Two separate. We're going to do two 10-minute auctions, guys. Two 10-minute auctions. I have to pee so bad. Should I just go pee real quick? Start an auction at 10:37. The next one at 10:47. Then we're done by 10:50. You know, there's a little leeway between. We can be done by 11 on the auctions. What do you guys think? I might have to go take a leak. If I have to do that, I feel really bad. I'll show you a pretty close-up of a Russell's 13 bottle in the meantime, though. Someone, mods, get that bot out of here, please. 21090 says, go whiz. I'm going to do that. 2 separate sounds like the best way for Amy and I to be the most effective. Hell yes. You guys are fucking awesome. This is amazing. Mods, get them. I'm going to go take a leak. Check out this very close-up shot of... Let me set a few pretty bottles in the front of the close-up camera. Here we go. And just in for the sake of Nancy jumping in here and being an absolute rock star, let's put this in here. Give me... All I need is 90 seconds, guys. All I need is 90 seconds. I'm going to go take a leak. Here we go. Boom. And I will be right back. Just look how pretty these bottles are. Let's get a little smooth jazz in the meantime, right? All right. Thank you guys for entertaining that. Duty calls. 80 people in the chat. This is amazing. We're going to have an awesome fundraiser right now for Jerry Black. I'm so excited for this, guys. The chat's hilarious. Okay. Let me make sure I'm good to go here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do Amy's bottle first. Amy, are you good with the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof? We're going to be auctioning an E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. It's going to be 10 minutes of bidding. Throughout the bidding, throughout each one of these, I will be doing a separate tasting. So I have a little something to talk about on the side, but we're also going to be monitoring the bidding the entire time very closely. And there will be a strict... I have to make it a strict cutoff. We can't really do a popcorn thing. Although, chat, please let me know how you think this should work. If I should do a strict cutoff based on my clock on my phone, I can make that happen. So that there's not a popcorn effect, or we can do popcorn up to like 30 seconds apiece. You let me know. I want the most money. I also want the most fair in the bidding. We will do Amy first. We will do Nancy second. Amy is giving up a bottle of E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof 128.1 proof, should be 2018-ish. High bid goes to Jerry's GoFundMe, and I'll send the bottle. So you have to, Amy, they should pay directly to that GoFundMe, correct? Not pay you and then to the GoFundMe. They will go directly to the GoFundMe. We can confirm it, and then you send the bottle. Is that the way this is going to work? Mark says it's a 2017 E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. Holy shit. Either way is fine. You post your bid in chat, says Will Henderson. All right. Putting the amount in the chat. Yeah. No, it's not a super chat, Toshi. It's going to be, you just call it out in the chat. Let's say multiples of 5. are what we're going to be doing, multiples of 5 and 10 minutes each. So we're going to start the bidding for Amy's bottle, which is a 2017 E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, 128.1 proof. It's going to start at 1040, and that starts right now. 1040, it's going to cut off strictly at 1050, and I will have a strict cutoff on my phone. I am watching the clock by the seconds hand. So right now we are bidding for an E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, 128.1 proof, 2017 edition. You will send that money that you bid, whoever the winner is, directly to the GoFundMe link. We will put that in the chat. We will then connect you with Amy, who will send you that bottle directly. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Nancy. Nancy's going to start her auction in about 10 to 12 minutes. Once this is all settled, the winner is declared. That's going to be for a signed bottle of Joseph Magnus Batch 84, I believe. And she's even going to write a personalized message on the bottle. So there we go. Holy fuck, you guys. We're already at $600 from Paul Graham. Ooh, I'm going to get like... Oh. In the meantime, this is going to run. I will give reminders every 2 to 3 minutes about the cutoff time. Let me do this. This is going to make me act quickly. I'm going to do quick reviews. You don't know me to do those, right? I spend 35 minutes on half a pour. Let's pour out a Russell's pick and compare it to the epic blend of all 3 Russell's 13 batches. All right. Oh my God, Richie Z was 6. Paul Graham was 700. You guys are insane. Oh my goodness. You guys are insane. I can't. Jay, I think this will go quickly. Oh my God. Paul has it at 700. Yeah. Scott coming at 725. Scott's going in at 725. Battle of the Giants here. Richie Z, Paul, and Scott, man. Damn. And Amy says, "Oh, she's going to throw in about 100 milliliters of Russell's 13 batch 1. You can have it," she says. 735. I said multiples of 5. So there we go. Paul Graham, 735 high bid. I feel like and going once. I'm a auctioneer. Wow, so I've poured out an 11-year Russell's store pick up against this blend of the 3 Russell's 13 batches. This is a fantastic pick. Paul is in the lead still with 735. That is an incredible bid by Paul and an incredible giveaway by Amy Bohm. So thank you guys. Scott is coming in 750. Wow. You guys are insane. You're amazing. You're amazing. So the Russell's 13 blend here is so dark and dense and rich and oaky. And this 11-year store pick has a little more life to it, of course, at 11 years old. There's not as much 14, 15, 18, 19, 20-year-old juice in here. But there's still a nice funky oak note on this. Paul Graham, 760. Let's get some more upbeat music. Let's go Lo-Fi Mix 1 for the bids. Let's go. Okay, maybe it'll take off here in a second. That's not as upbeat as I thought it was going to be. Nate says, "Thank you for your generosity, Amy. Jerry is a great guy." Absolutely. Absolutely. And yes, David says, "You guys are all amazing bidders." I'm going back in the chat now. Just amazing. And the support of Jerry is incredible. Jeb says, you have any suspenseful music, drama, mystery, or intrigue? I don't. I need to make a playlist for that, I guess. All right, I got to keep tasting this. Russell's. We're still at 760, I believe, from Paul. Let me scroll back. Paul Graham, 760. We are still sitting at 760 on this one. That is awesome. Paul and Scott were shooting it out for a second there. And remember, the next bottle we're going to be giving away is going to be a signed Nancy Fraley batch. I mean, they're all Nancy Fraley batches, but of Cigar Blend Batch 84, personalized message on there. And, yeah, just, I don't even know what to say, guys. All right. We have about 4 minutes left on the bids. Just about 4 minutes to the dot. Just turned 10:46 right now. And I will sharply cut off at 10:50 on the bidding tonight. But there we go. So this is showing me, this little comparison here while we're doing this, is showing me that Russell's 11-year, this is an 11-year pick, Minnesota Whiskey Society, from Daniel in the chat, who I think had to bow out a little bit ago, but from the Minnesota Whiskey Society, that it's a great pick, but it just doesn't have the aged notes of Russell's 13. Everything else is completely intact. The spice, the cinnamon, the red fruit notes. Yeah, the kind of a little bit of a corn note in here, some lemon on the citrus side of things. And there is an aged oak presence, but it's not half, 50%, 60% of the drinking experience like it is on Russell's 13. Yeah, Tom Snyder says, you guys are awesome. There's still 75 people in here. You guys are awesome. And E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, a 2017 batch, 128.1 proof. That is 5 years out of stock. I mean, 5 years out of production. We're sitting at 760 right now. If anybody else wants to get in here, throw some money down for an amazing cause for Jerry Black's family. Jerry Black, a member of the Whiskey Tube community, his wife unexpectedly passing away, trying to pay for some funeral expenses and other expenses related to this. A large family. If you go read the GoFundMe post, let me see if I can find it here. Let me see. Let me scroll back. If you go read the GoFundMe, you guys are going to read, it's heartbreaking. And where am I at here? 77 in the chat. Thank you guys for being here for this. There we go. I've got it. So go check that out, guys. You can scroll back and find that link from Amy, but that is where this money is going. And right now it's $760 from Paul Graham. It's an E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof 2017 up for bids. Let's go. Raising money for Jerry Black, a huge supporter of Whiskey Tube. Yeah, there we go. We have about a minute and a half left on the bids before we're going to call a winner. We're going to do the little gavel. Scott, you're in at 750, but Paul is in at 760. So you are not currently in the lead on the bids. I have a bid back here from Paul that says 760. I'll pull that up on the screen right now. So we're at 760 right now from Paul as of 10:43 p.m. And there are 60 seconds left on the clock. All right, there are 60 seconds left on the clock, and I will go by whatever StreamYard says as the final high bid, and there will be no extensions. So there are 45 seconds left now for this E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this to make sure everything is 100% fair. And as we've established the cutoff time, and this cannot waver from that in the interest of fairness. Wow, the chat is blowing up and my StreamYard is not updating. So let's see. What do I see here, guys? You can see it in the live chat better than I can right now. I'm going to pop it out. I'm going to zoom in. Come on. All right. It is done. It is done. I am going to check the timestamps on everything now for who won this bid. Okay. Hang on, guys. I've got to make sure everything is done here. Hang on. Do you guys see, is 760 the winning bid? I want to make sure that 760 is the winning bid from Paul Graham. That is what I'm seeing, but I want to make sure you guys we're all good on this. Hendo says yes. Okay. My live chat was going crazy on my YouTube screen. I just pulled it back up. So, okay, Paul has it at $760, Paul. So, here's the deal. Amy, can you put your would you be okay putting your email address in the chat? I can also connect you and Paul. I have both your email addresses. If you, let me know how you want to do it, Amy. But Paul, if you want to donate that $760 to that GoFundMe, that link, and someone else can put in the chat that GoFundMe link one more time, and Paul, donate that either right now or sometime tomorrow, however you want to do it, and then at that point we'll confirm it, and then Amy will send you that bottle. Paul says, I had a real shitty day, and it's all better now. And I think it's better for everybody, Paul. So, thank you, man. JG says he's got the link here. Yeah, Paul, not only are you, like, just a ridiculous supporter of the channel, but to jump in like this on a whim and drop this kind of money on an awesome bottle, but for an even better cause. That just, thank you, man. And we're not done. So we've got one more to go. I don't want to get up. Guys, I'm sorry. Thank you, Paul. There we go. Paul Graham, send a confirmation for donation to GoFundMe for Jerry to me. So confirm that you sent it. Send me an email saying that you sent $760 to that GoFundMe link that's been in the chat tonight. And Amy will ship out the bottle. And I can link you guys up however this needs to go down. So. Paul says, in the interest of transparency, can I mail Cam a check? He knows my checks don't. Yeah. Paul, we can make that happen, man. We can make that happen. So Amy, we'll figure all of this out behind the scenes. But yes, we will make this happen. And Paul's good for it. So, yeah. All right, let me make a note in my phone very quickly. And now we're going to be on to Nancy Fraley's incredible auction donation here. Sorry, I just got to make this note. Check to me. I donate. Amy sends. Okay, and now we're going to start at 10:55 on the dot, which is exactly 60 seconds from right now. So in 60 seconds, the bidding is going to start. Nancy, can you remind us in the chat of what you're going to be donating tonight for this giveaway? Again, we're going to auction off a 10-minute auction in the chat. The funds from this auction are going to go to Jerry Black's GoFundMe. Jerry Black, a member of the Whiskey Tube community whose wife tragically passed away unexpectedly, trying to have some cover some funeral expenses and some other expenses for a large family. And we're going to get them well over their goal of $5,000. They were at $4,300 earlier. I think we've already blown past that with Paul's donation for this EH Taylor Barrel Proof, and thank you, Amy, for throwing that up. Now, Master Blender Nancy Fraley from Joseph Magnus is going to be giving a Cigar Blend Batch 84 away. A signed batch with a personalized message, I believe, is what we have going here. So the bidding is going to start now, and it's going to go for 10 minutes. On the dot at 11:05 it closes, whatever the high bid is at 11:05. All right, so we have 10 minutes to go. Let's do this. Paul Graham, man. He says, a shitty day was now a great day. My brother died the month that this was bottled. My best friend, my protector as a child, man. And I'm so sorry to hear that, Paul. And you know, I'm sure that never gets easier, but the impact that you're going to be having tonight on somebody else in a similar situation is just incredible. So I can speak for everybody when I say that we really appreciate that. Scott Raper, you guys are amazing coming in with these bids. Immediately, Scott, with this $700 leading bid. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Ooh. Toshi Bake was $750. Ooh. My goodness. I know this is not about, and I don't mean to like cry at you on this stream. I know this is not about me at all. I have a hard time with this, guys. All right, let me drink something else because I fucking need to drink something to get through this. You guys are amazing. Okay. Scott with 800. With 800. Jeez, Scott. Man. You guys, Toshi and Scott and Paul, everybody going back and forth. Dunny and Richie and Nicholas and Tim and Mike and Tom. I don't know. $850 from Toshi. Nancy, I'm donating a signed bottle of Magnus Cigar Blend 84 plus a sample of the upcoming second edition of Magnus Family Reserve. Guys, that is not a joke. Age 17 to 22, I've been working on it for the past 4 years. Oh my God, Nancy. That is incredible. Nicholas with an $875 bid coming in. 1,000 from Toshi Bake. And 900 from Scott, right around that time, too. You guys are just amazing. We're only 3 minutes in. 3 minutes into the bidding. Jeez. All right. Let's let the dust settle a little bit. Toshi Bakes in for 1,000. That is the leading bid on Nancy's Batch 84. Plus a signed bottle of Batch 84, plus a sample of the upcoming second edition of Magnus Family Reserve, age 17 to 22 years old, in the works for 4 years. That sample alone is worth a lot of money. Mark says, my first time here. What an amazing place. Mark, I am as caught by surprise as you are, man. I mean, this is... Scott is going 1025 on this. Man, Scott, Toshi, Paul, everybody, thank you. And I know Jerry's going to thank you too. Hey, everybody raise a glass to that. If you're drinking, whatever you're drinking, if it's whiskey, water, wine, Coke, whatever, raise a glass to this tonight. And I'm glad to be here with all of you, all 81 of you. I can't even believe there's 81 people hanging out tonight supporting Jerry like this. After a long stream, it's late at night, Thursday night. I can't say enough. The fact that Nancy's here doing this, the fact that Amy is giving up this bottle, incredible. We have about just under 5 minutes left on the bidding. And I'm having a sip of this Sherbrooke 14-year rye for the occasion, and it's a great bottle to have for this occasion. Toshi Bake is in at $1,100. And Nancy's upping the ante here with a... She might just throw in a sample of some Armagnac from 1932 and some other rare goodies. That... Nancy... Oh, if I could shake your hand and give you a big hug, I would. I'm going to be a fucking mess tonight. I'm so sorry, guys. Scott coming in hot on 1300. Man, Dunny says, love to Nancy. No, love to all of you guys. That is unbelievable. Hendo, man, I'm with you. Like, I don't even know what to say. It's for Toshi Bake with 1400. We've got just about 3 minutes left on the bidding tonight for batch 84 of Magnus Cigar Blend, signed by Nancy. 1 ounce of the Magnus Family Reserve, aged, I believe it was 17 to 22 years. She's been working on for 4 years at this point. And some other goodies, 1932 vintage Armagnac samples, and some other things from Nancy. Nancy is not pulling any punches tonight. All right, guys. So, where are we at? We're with Toshi Bake right now at $1,400. Scott's coming in at $1,450, and we've got about 2 minutes left tonight. So, cheers to that, guys. And thank you all so much. Thank you, Nancy, Amy, and everybody that's bidding tonight. Toshi Bake with $1,500. Oh. Sorry, guys. Where'd that cigar blend go? I'm going to have a pour in honor of Nancy's contribution and all of you guys. And this is the Darth Vader batch, so fuck yeah. In honor of Nancy's incredible contribution to this. I have a little Darth Vader batch tonight. Hopefully my Zbiotics keeps me in line tomorrow morning. Toshi Bake with 1,500. Nancy, if you want to add it, we can add it. We can add it right now, but we have 45 seconds left. Cigar Blend 92 in the mix. Cigar Blend 92 in the mix. Nancy, we have 40 seconds. I gotta, before you respond and say yay or nay, let's just say yay. Let's just throw the 92 in the mix, if that's okay with you. If not, I'll cover the cost of it. I don't even know. 1550 says Scott, we're adding it. We're going. We have 25 seconds. We have 20 seconds left on the bidding. This is fucking incredible, guys. 1750 says Toshi Bake. We have 10 seconds. We have 15 seconds. We have 15 seconds. We're not pulling any punches. There's no popcorn. 10 seconds left. Here we go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the hammer is down. 1750 wins it. 1750 wins it. And you know what? Fuck what 1750 wins, and let's just talk about what 1750 does for Jerry Black's family, because that's the important part. So, did Scott put 18? I don't see 18 just yet. I don't see 18. I think it's out. I think Toshi got it at 1750, guys, as far as I can see here in StreamYard, and I don't even know what to say, Toshi. I think it was after the bell, guys. I think it was, for me, based on, I have to go with what I saw, and I saw Toshi Bake at 1750. And I think Scott was just a little bit late. On my end, that's what I saw. And I have to go with that. Do we all feel okay with that? I think it was after the bell. As far as what I said and what I was seeing on my end, I was keeping a super close eye on that. I have to, sorry, I'm just reading the chat, and you guys are incredible individuals. I have to go Toshi Bake on this. Timestamp is not going to do us a lot of good. They're all going to say 11:05, guys. Or no, sorry, Toshi's is that's right. Toshi's is 11:04 on my end, and once it turns 11:05, that's when Scott's came through for me. Scott says, no problem, I should have been faster. So this is Toshi's. It is an agreeance. So Toshi, man, I don't even know what to say. Here's what needs to happen. Toshi, shoot me an email, and I will connect you with Nancy, and we will get all of this sorted out. In the meantime, yeah, we will get this all sorted out. Toshi, you can make your donation to Jerry's GoFundMe now. You can wait until we have the details sorted out. However you feel the most comfortable, Toshi, that is cool with me, man. Your donation is incredible. Paul, your donation is incredible. You guys are all, Scott, for everybody for being in this. I don't know what to say. Amy, Nancy, Richie, everybody. Insane. Toshi says donation is in. So, Toshi, I will link you with Nancy via email. We will make all this happen. And I just want to confirm, we got Nancy offering up the 84, the 92, the Magnus Family Reserve sample, and some other goodies like the 1932 Armagnac and all that kind of stuff. So we will make sure this all gets to you extremely safely, packed extremely well, where we'll have to make sure of that. That's a big box, that's a nice sized box. So, we'll talk and email and everything like that, and we'll get it all worked out. But you guys, I don't even know what to say. Cheers. I didn't even have a sip of this yet. Cheers with Nancy's Batch 58 Darth Vader batch of cigar blend, which is a fucking awesome pour. Raise a glass with me, guys, for all of this incredible support tonight for Jerry Black. I mean, that was like almost $2,500. Wow. Yeah, Andrew, I do, and I'm glad that Scott was cool and conceded it and everything like that, because it would be tough from my end to anticipate that delay. It's really, really tough. Wow, you guys are amazing. And Nancy, you're an amazing blender. Holy shit, this batch 58 is insane. Oh my God. Let's not forget, I don't mean to take attention away from this, but congratulations to everybody, including Stanley Wags, Mark Royland, and Hendo for winning the giveaway earlier. This has been an amazing stream, and unexpected amazing stream. Hell yeah, Toshi. Y'all shouldn't congratulate me. It's really about the generosity of Amy and Nancy to help Jerry and the fam. True heroes. Yeah. 100%. I don't know how to end a stream like this, but that's probably the way that you end one of those, you know? Doing something like that from people like you who are amazing, and thank you so much. Scott, if you're still hanging out tonight, Nancy is offering a complimentary sample of Cigar Blend Batch 84 for your incredible generosity. Which is, I don't even know what to say at this point. So, Scott, if you're in here, Scott, shoot me your email. I'll put mine in the chat. drumsanddrams at gmail.com. Scott, shoot me your email address. I'll link you with Nancy and we can get that sample sent your way. He says, hell yes. And here's my email, drumsanddrams, all spelled out, at gmail.com. Amy, I got you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for the idea. And thank you, Nancy, for jumping on board. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Is that it? We should probably just call it right now, right? We should probably just end on this high note. Johnny says, yeah, we definitely, Toshi, with that donation, we definitely got over the hump. And Paul's going to shoot me the money, and we're going to get that extra, what was it, $760 in the mix as well. So I think we're really tonight was nearly $2,500, and let's just say with my personal donation, it'll be $2,500 tonight. I feel really good about that impact, guys, on Jerry's family, and I hope people continue on with this, and I just thank you. So, all right, last pour, something special for Jerry, says Amy. All right, let's do it. Let's do something special. Let's do, Amy, what do you think? King of Kentucky or a Dusty? King of Kentucky or a Dusty? What are we doing? I will make either one of those happen gladly. Let's bring back the jazz. Here we go. Mike says, bring back the jazz. I just had a little cigar blend, Tom. So let's bring back some jazz. Glendronic 21. Nancy says Dusty. All right. Someone get that bot, please. Actually, All right. Bot destroyed. Thank you, Jay. I got 3 dusty choices to end the flight or end the stream tonight. I have 2 different... No, wait. I have 3 different granddads. You know old granddad dusties are my favorite. I have a bonded from 1990. I've got bonded from 83. I decanted this to not have oxygen, or just I wanted to get this out of a full bottle, get less air in it. I have an 83 bonded, a 90 bonded, and an 89 114. So what am I drinking tonight? You guys tell me, and I will drink it as a final pour. What are we doing? You guys are hilarious. Prayers for Jerry Black's family. Yeah. The 89 114. Everybody just said it. So let's do that. I had to put a current day cork in it from a... Oh my God, that smells so fucking good. I had to put a current day cork in it because this cork was nearly, it was falling apart. Wow, Nancy is having some 1964 DeRose Armagnac Chateau de Gab. That's amazing. I have no idea what that would even taste like, but it sounds amazing. Scott says email sent. Awesome. Thank you, Scott. So guys, I got a fatty here of 89 Grandad 114. One of my all-time favorites. So much butterscotch, an old school dusty, that dusty old bottle effect. But this one also has a really unique note of grapefruit and coffee. Grapefruit on the light side and coffee on the dark side. It's so much more stratified than the old the Grandad Bondeds. These Bondeds, when you add water to them, 8 years old generally, a lot of these older ones, they have so much just distinct and straightforward butterscotch. This has that, but it has a darker quality of the coffee and a lighter quality of the grapefruit. I don't know if it's aged as long. It doesn't need to be. At this proof, the extra alcohol and spice makes it more interesting, while these more stratified light and dark notes do the same. I mean, it's just fantastic stuff. So, thank you guys so much. Let me grab this comment from Toshi. You are what's right with the bourbon industry. Always love your cigar blends and am continuously so impressed with your work. And now I'm more impressed with your generosity. Yeah. Wow. You guys are amazing. I'm gonna call it. We're gonna get out of here. It's been 3 hours and 15 minutes of insanity and generosity. Thank you so much. I'm gonna just say cheers to all of you. I will connect everybody behind the scenes. I have notes in my phone of this now. Everybody behind the scenes needs to be connected with somebody. It will happen. I will make it happen. Young Pei Chang at the 11th hour. Glad I popped in just in time to see Cam Sip This Old Granddad with dank jazz playing in the background. And Young Pei Chang, I called you out earlier for being incredibly generous in the community and sending really generous samples of things, and especially Russell's 13, which was relevant to tonight. But you missed a fundraiser tonight that was incredible. And if you go back and watch it, you'll see Nancy and Amy and their incredible generosity for Jerry Black's family. But man, thank you for stopping in. And I hope to see you more in some live chat soon. And I hope you're doing okay. It's amazing to see YPC in the house. All right, guys. Cheers. I will see you soon. For those of you that I'm going to see this weekend at the Junkies meetup, I cannot wait to meet you. Please come say hello. I don't have a face with any names, so come say hello. Introduce yourself. I can't wait to meet you. Cheers. And thank you for supporting Jerry Black tonight. in the back end of this live stream. Incredible. So